Alex made this beat.
I know I did a lot of wrong like a fool, I just kept going, but can we talk? If I make sure the things I'm doing are different from what I've done, you should carry talk. And I'm ashamed of the mistakes I made. I am. Can we talk? Now I commit to you that I'ma change. I do. You should carry talk. If I confess to you the wrong I did, tell me can we talk? Give you my word I never said again. Tell me can we talk?
Look, trying to take up my truth daily, but sometimes my shoulders weak. I'm smart enough for you who are too dumb to learn defeat. So I keep my head high, and for your strength I seek. Recharging my batteries through the word that I preach. With all you who will secure my stance, I gotta seek you daily. Just hold me in your bosom, all should die, you who was baby. Gotta get farther for surety, I can't bank on maybe. I know if I serve you holy in the ear, you come and save me. Save me if you would, you who should have Mashiach. The power of life and death in your tongue, so y'all when we talk, let it be real complete, even only for a second. When temptation comes against me, let the bar be my protection.
I know I did a lot of wrong like a fool, I just kept going, but can we talk? If I make sure the things I'm doing are different from what I've done, you should carry talk. And I'm ashamed of the mistakes I made. I am. Can we talk? Now I commit to you that I'ma change. I do. You should carry talk. If I confess to you the wrong I did, tell me can we talk? Give you my word I never said again. Tell me can we talk?
If I get asking the same thing, ain't trying to be facetious. Just know the only way I make it, y'all, is if you keep us. The olive represent your strength, cause in you is no weakness. So you took on the form of man to show that we can beat this. So much easier said than done. The road to salvation was fully paid by your son. I'm only human, so the thought may come to run so many roads to take your life before salvation, there's just one.
I know I did a lot of wrong like a fool, I just kept going, but can we talk? If I make sure the things I'm doing are different from what I've done, can we talk? And I'm ashamed of the mistakes I made. Can we talk? Now I commit to you that I'ma change. You should carry talk. Make my father proud. I just wanna make my father proud of me. Make my father proud. I just wanna make my father proud of me. Make my father proud. I just wanna make my father proud of me. Make my father proud. I just wanna make my father proud of me.
I know I changed cause I don't do the things I used to. I used to be a sinner man, but now I'm serving who? I was the type to lust, slip and fall at temptation, but Allahim was Amunah, that's the way to escape it. See, all I had to do was stop and shift my focus. Think on what's written for a time, cause that's where my hope is. And it's an anchor to the soul, I'm never hopeless. To the bar is the remote, Yahusha control this ish. Do the word that the Raha preach, and make it plain to understand, y'all, this man teach. To the bar can touch you, where the hands can't reach, and your neck get in his sight, so he can see you.
Make my father proud. I just wanna make my father proud. Make my father proud. I just wanna make my father proud.
In Tahalim and NKE, I had the same goal. Please my Abba, give them honor, repeat the same goal. Flee from Russia, kill basalt like John and Jane Doe. Clean my garments, they were filthy, had to change clothes. I won't sell my soul to quit, but I will sell my soul to get eternal life. He paid the price, Yahuwah bankroll instead. The watch not bought with gold, but with the dome of his son, he shouldered it. Investing in Yeshua, the bar made clear Yahuwah brokered it. Now, the times are crucial, I'm looking to Yahushua to deliver me from Qatar to his Nakut, the place I know this lit. No Shamash, no Yahweh, Allahim, my oars surrounding me. I keep it clean and Lil Sadat just want him to be proud of me. Hey, hey.
I just wanna make my father, make my father proud, make my father proud. I just wanna make my father, yeah, he wants to know that he can make my father proud. I wanna make my father proud, make my father proud. I just wanna make my father proud of me. Hey, 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 my father.
Take all of that bullshit, leave it all for me. Cause if I go back, you know what you are for me. But it's gonna take much more than apologies.
I don't wanna hear it, save it for somebody who cares. Too much things that took my people, constantly poking out there. Keep the lion is conscious, 400 years of sleep. So you know his belly is rumbling, the whole world is crumbling. And it's because of us. Finances public, cause real issues barely get discussed. Everybody that trusts don't trust themselves, a bunch of rotten apples. Don't ever play with a snake, cause you heard a friendly rattle. It's time for battle, let me ever creep without a paddle. Told you once before, I'm on your ruin side. My life in battle, total separation. No more weeping, no more apologies. Because for us, you came for us.
Take all of that bullshit, leave it all for me. Cause if I go back, you know what you are for me. But it's gonna take much more than apologies. So don't be trying to give me no apologies. Don't be trying to give me no apologies.
I'm done with it, I'm sick of it, don't give me no apologies. Been doing these for too long, depending on what the power inside of me. Cause all I hate now listen, I ain't been right, you know what's wrong with me. And all the beats, time for us to be free, take back what belongs to the young days. Been back, it was so much to my enemies. Some plunderers who plunder us. We supposed to be in and all the world, we're supposed to be under us. When will we learn? What a difference is I come together for the common cause. Killing us dead in the streets, dead in the streets. I hear the dog, I'll be on the call. I'm talking to all of y'all, down the call, time for some action. And if these nuts wanna bust they shells, they will. Let's get cracking, fill all our caskets. It won't stop till we take a stand and break the band. Just be with me, let me see our show hands.
Take all of that bullshit, leave it all for me. Cause if I go back, you know what you are for me. But it's gonna take much more than apologies. So don't be trying to give me no apologies. Don't be trying to give me no apologies. Don't be trying to give me no apologies.
First man, think before you run up. Talk about your God, shut your mind, no comparison. Play with y'all, you may not hurt, change your name to garrison. No, I gave two witnesses, just about a bar, by so far, man, I'm innocent. No, they hate it, simile, quit searching for a pill in it, and get your light in, yeah. Somebody can do it, Rick strike, yes, shot, turn the sign of lane. What's the fall, in New York, call it paint or play. Look off, flame that high man, only if you can handle. Your pastor carry Washington, make a living on scandal. And all they wanna do is make you hub and all your wife. Tell them I get drunk and hot and take your money. All they gonna do is burn for your rain the shovel, bury them, go do it clever and keep your money. Shout out if you hooted, go closer if you scatter. Cause all they troopers do is just circumstance a matter. Oh, you were able to student, you still gon' get your battle. Your wife was so imprudent, but we still gotta make it happen. My love man had to stay, my y'all should be more fade. The results yesterday, my running can't be swayed. Going but losing weight, how could I raise the plate? You who were constantly gay, this house and be you the praise. What can I give this chain? Too valuable to shop this. Spirit low, flying coach, but you was in the cockpit. My fire with no spark me to go, similar to rocket. The way right with the life, nigga, that's a shot miss. Under my belt, notches, process of being saved. No river situation, we build it for judgment day. Through with my flesh tank, cause one to elevate. Deep words on a white page, on flyers of all planes, yeah, I used to get my high from clubbing, from drinking, from smoking, fornication, masturbation, all these unclean acts. But I made a change, and these days I get my high from the bar, from the tour of the Most High Yahuwah, who has been Yahushua HaMashiach.
Everyone is last. I'm trying to make it strong, I can't live in the past. You who's gonna please us with everything he has. I come to the synagogue to get the ball. I place us tomorrow while riding in the car. We are the future, we gon' be some stars. Man, I'm so breezy that this beat was hard. Yo, we gang to move, let's go. Yo, we gang to move, let's go. Yo, we gang gon' win, let's go. Yo, we gang gon' win. Yo, we gang to move, yo, we gang to move, let's go. Yo, we gang gon' win, let's go. Yo, we gang gon' win. Yo, we gang to move, yo, we gang to move, let's go. Yo, we gang gon' win, let's go. Yo, we gang gon' win. Yo, we gang to move, let's go. Yo, we gang to move, let's go. Yo, we gang gon' win. Yo, we gang gon' win. Yo, we gang gon' win. I'ma do my best, okay? Gonna give them my all and nothing less. Yo, who's gonna burn place today if on fire? Tell my home to Yahudi, that's my desire.
That's your desire, we gon' make it happen. Yo, who was my pilot? Yes, he's my captain. Make the left on your home turf, shot me in the game range. He ain't on your whole side, and I know where you need to say. Train up a tool of dot in the way they should go. I brought up another tool of dot and show they can flow. DJ Z, AB4, and my little bro Big Mick. This is just the beginning, nah, this ain't it. Appreciate it, give me a chance to help represent. If we wanna keep it going, gotta take care of these kids. This the future, the Yahoo daily breezy, press my time, bro. I'm like, when, how the song go?
Yo, we gang to move, let's go. Yo, we gang to move, let's go. Yo, we gang gon' win, let's go. Yo, we gang gon' win. Yo, we gang to move, yo, we gang to move, let's go. Yo, we gang gon' win, let's go. Yo, we gang gon' win. Yo, we gang to move, yo, we gang to move, let's go. Yo, we gang gon' win, let's go. Yo, we gang gon' win. Yo, we gang to move, let's go. Yo, we gang to move, let's go. Yo, we gang gon' win. Yo, we gang gon' win. Yo, we gang to move. Riding on my casket, I do for my Miss and give me a pass. If I should fall away, it will be disaster. First I will move
Hey, what you say that is?
YGTD, your hootie gang. We ain't wearing no bananas, but we let them tassels hang. YGTD, wanted to say it. This thing right here is so light. Make sure you mean it when you say it. YGTD, your hootie gang. We ain't wearing no bananas, but we let them tassels hang. YGTD, wanted to say it. This thing right here is so light. Make sure you mean it when you say it. Big leagues try to take every fashion. We believe the same thing. All niggas we capping. Don't let us stand up. This is trapping. You won't put up teenagers capture. Jumping at the illegitimate bastard. You slave to the child of your master. One thing don't belong here. Another word me. You ain't never seen none of your hooties that you checking for circumcision. Whole time these niggas fruity. I'ma tell you like Abner. Turn aside. Don't pursue. Don't serve the one I like. That don't lie. I'm your who is truly. Your hootie. YGTD. Your hootie gang. We ain't wearing no bananas, but we let them tassels hang. YGTD. What is it saying? This thing right here is so light. Make sure you mean it when you say it. YGTD. Your hootie gang. We ain't wearing no bananas, but we let them tassels hang. YGTD. What is it saying? This thing right here is so light. Make sure you mean it when you say it. Your hootie gang. That's my posse. All I told you, do our thing. I proof and I keep recrossing over Cooler, man. For sure I'm Ari, and no pushover. We are strippers and we're predators. That means don't mess with us. No colors, we ain't setting the things ain't even regretting us. We came from greater vision, but dog, hold on, we separate. Everything we do is so that we can be true. Tassels hanging blue, reminding us of the true. Ain't taking everybody, each member is of your who. You might think it's strange, that's why you call us peculiar. I'm looking for a man, your Hoosier and his appearance. I serve him to the hand, my spot I'm trying to secure. YGTD, your hootie gang. We ain't wearing no bananas, but we let them tassels hang. YGTD, what is it saying? This thing right here is so light, make sure you mean it when you say it. YGTD, your hootie gang. We ain't wearing no bananas, but we let them tassels hang. YGTD, what is it saying? This thing right here is so light, make sure you mean it when you say it.
Kids got me hyped.
Hey.
All right.
Walk in slowly.
Clap, give your who a praise. Clap, give my who's a praise. Clap, let's all celebrate. Put your hands up, baby, hey, your hootie clap. Give your who a praise. Clap, give my who's a praise. Hootie clap. Let's all celebrate. Put your hands up, baby, hey.
Hands up. Submission is a must. Keep it at the bottom, get my own rolling like the horse. Tassels on the skirt, modest make them hurt. Chase keeps still a boss, so I put in work. I strip you with COVID, but I still had a taste. I don't mind that I'm chosen, so I'm standing on the base. Like we tag, I am frozen, till I finally see his face. I'm a praise to make you bounce like this bass. So turn up like it's your birthday. No liquor, give me a gun, babe.
I think I just ain't real strong.
Please, that's stinking, get loose. Chuck up the deuce. So my haters, my creator got that juice.
Your hootie clap, give your who a praise. Clap, give my who's a praise. Clap, let's all celebrate. Put your hands up, baby. Your hootie clap, give your who a praise. Clap, give my who's a praise. Clap, let's all celebrate. Put your hands up, baby. Let's all celebrate. Put your hands up. Give it a holla to you who a nigga stand up. Gotta pay the ties and off the wrist, so get your bands up. We staying drunk, cast away Katana, nigga. Feeling good, I'm living good. Feeling fine, I'm living fine. Words gon' prove you out. All you gotta do is kick it tight. Surgery, you killing time. Tryna pull me out from my Hoosier. It's crucial, is you stupid, really stupid. Better try G, don't try me, cause I don't hate. Die clean, report me. If you play the beat, nigga, I go ahead. Do my dance, do my head, give my Hoosier praise. Give a what a hater say. I take the cook and try my head away. Clap, give your who a praise. Clap, give my Hoosier praise. Clap, let's all celebrate. Put your hands up, baby, hey, your hootie clap.
clap, give your who a praise. Clap, clap, give my who's a praise. Clap, clap, let's all celebrate. Put your hands up, Gotta be ready. Hey, hey, come on. Turn up your hoosier, what you do from here on out is gonna be crucial. Every move, so put your armor on like Ray Charles on the song. Yahoo did you suited already for war, so bring it on.
Yahoo Duty got a baby standing on his cornerstone. Tell the truth, buy it or not, it's up to you, it's your boss. What you do is not gon' stop, we gon' see you and hit the block. Catch me at the synagogue, 3 times over, twice on Shabbat.
Learning that we all are here, there's no chance of you catching up.
You not the weak, so don't try to attach to us.
Shells you hear my stance, our engine fire branches up.
Black gon' give me 50-50 double minded, think twice before attacking us. Hey, hey, be ready. Be tree, we so like the branch, can't get so short end of the stick. Avalanche, so quit playing possum and be strong like a yoga oxen, you're the boss belong. Mr. Awesome, you know he coming, no hesitate. But those who make this love won't forget your face, unless you have been replaced, place. So I gotta hold my horses, gotta be stable to get the highest appraisal. With this paper, I play my stable. One shot, 12 gate, your head in the world. Keep talking, I'll take your head in the world. Come for breaking out, taking my bread. I'm fighting for eternal kindness. I got me ready for out of these.
You don't impress me. So what you got is only going to upset investment. Yeah, speaking Greece, we found you out like you ain't resting. You don't upset me. Look like I'm spreading the way at my side. Head on the lot from that greatest head. Can't let that guitar upset me. I carry some loaded weapons on the hip and the chest, and the one is made for the strong, the other is for the flipping. Attacking the adversary. Crackers with good is scary, so action is necessary. I keep them both for protection. Hold on to y'all direction on the ball. I'm scared from the ruach to the saw. I suggest you be ready. Be
Appreciate Mr. Yahuwah. All right, we get ready to try to sound the Kato Sarah. Woo, boy. I tell you, it's been one of them days, boy. Working way out some days. All right, we're going to get ready to sound the Kato Sarah, so trying to get the party started. Everybody alive? Well, that's always a tube thing. One thing about it, if you win, you wouldn't be able to answer. Unless you want them mute. All right. All right, get ready. Try to move forward. Y'all all right? Yeah. Certainly. Allow everybody been considering their Yeshua. Isn't that right? Considering the latter end. Y'all see it ain't getting no better out here, getting worse. Every day. Isn't that right? I sent out something today. I guess that was the right show. They got some show making headway, now some reality show where moms picking men, and the men they getting the pick of their sons. It says bringing up a bunch of controversy. Yeah, these women picking men, they picking their sons to date. Yeah, there's some show they say they're getting a bunch of headway. Some people, they getting some kickback. Just show you where the world at. Anything that's perverse, anything that's rotten, anything that goes contrary, they'll let it keep existing. Just like in London, you know, the police officer with the 49 cases, sexual rape, he finally admitted, when he get caught, and they know they did that, I'm sure. So they gave him a deal. It don't make sense to admit it. You don't rape 49 women. How many did you really rape? That's what they caught you with. Nobody gonna be stupid enough to admit more than that. They had a problem larger number, probably said, listen, just go ahead and sell out on the 49. Those we'll go with and move on. But they said they got over 800 more officers for rape and sexual assault. That just show what kind of world, what kind of mind you got. Whether police or not, what kind of mind you got you think it's okay to rape a woman? What's your mind? You just go and just rape her and just feel like this the end of it? You just gonna go and you just gonna keep moving, you just gonna keep raping? Nothing in your mind when you locking up other people for rape, what do you tell yourself? This guy's a criminal? This guy need to be off the street because he don't know how to rape like me? This guy dangerous to society? You're a raper. To me, I just don't know. The word I don't know. I told you it's getting rotten, it's getting worse. Well, no, it's not. It's not getting rotten, it's what it is. It's getting worse every day when you look at it. You know, you heard that even men seducer gonna get worse and worse. Deceiving and being deceived. It's just scary that, you know, society think it's okay for people to live the way they live it and just killing each other and just raping, just the child molestation is just overwhelming. The fact, you know, I think somebody said, I think they'll talk about that tomorrow, wrong. Just the mind of some of these people. I just never thought I grew up in a society where, you know, homosexuals would be able to adopt kids. When I was growing up, it was unheard of. It was unheard of. You seen a homosexual with a kid, it probably was his nephew or somebody, little cousin, I don't know. I don't remember really. I'm sure it was, but it was never a thing where this was a norm. Homosexual couples, homosexual men have a child and they got custody of them. Like, it's just scary that, you know, this is the society and the world we live in. And I'm sure it ain't every homosexual that's raping the child or having sex. I'm almost sure it's not. It's just, you know, to say it's every one of them is to say everybody black steal or everybody black can dance. And Chanel broke that lie up. So, her and Shani, I'm sorry, Justin. Justin, let me ask you a question. Based off your wife's talent, to tell the truth, do you believe that every black person can dance? I just asked a question. Just leave that one alone. Just leave it, man. But no, you know, so I don't think it's every homosexual. It's just the fact of, you know, 2 men or 2 women saying be a couple. Leave the kids out. You can't have kids. You ain't got no business with them. Just leave them out of it. That's something you do. Go ahead. Y'all do it, and however y'all die, however you live, for the 5-10 minutes you're on the planet. That's your business. But to give you a child and put that dysfunctionality in front of their face and allow them to see it, It's no way for them not to portray it. It's just no way. You know, you typically portray what you see. And you know, we need, and I've been a proponent for, we need more models. We need more, we need people to see interracial people interacting so people can see it's not true of every white person racist, every black person racist, every Chinese person racist, everybody. I think, you know, for a long period of time, we didn't really think a whole lot about each other races, other than black and white, because black and white have had the longer interaction. Here in America, I think, you know, besides the Indian, I'm sure the quote-unquote Indian has an opinion of both races. You know, probably to them looking at, to me, both of y'all are Johnny come lately, even though supposedly historically we have been here, you know, passive, many of times in and out. But, you know, seeing both people argue about who has been here the longest, or who belongs here, who America belongs to, who America owns, and you felt like you've been here longer than that, it's like, wow, I can't believe either or you having this conversation. You know what I'm saying? If anything, I'm looking at, I've been here, you know what I'm saying, before the mass number of all of you came, either or, and yet I'm not even in the discussion, which is true. It's rarely you even hear the quote-unquote American Indian even being discussed. Only time you hear people discuss the American Indian, if the back of their neck get wet, and if that hair get kind of wavy. Yeah, I'm gonna people say that, they say, I got some Indian, yeah. Like how you say you had Indian growing up. I believe that. How many y'all, go ahead, how many y'all used to tell people you had part Indian? Go ahead. I remember saying, cause I had a friend, it was too many niggas saying it. And I'll be honest, I was not finna sit there and look like I ain't have no Indian, so. I'm part Indian too. I didn't know what part, but just something, Cherokee, just pick up one, ain't that right? Yeah, right, somebody, Cherokee, you know what I'm saying? Somebody was a Pinto, it depend on what vehicle you like. It's just, you know, I mean, anytime some kind of money is gonna be given out, any type of reparation or appreciation, everybody run try to grab something. But at the end of the day, we here to do, you know, one thing above all things, that makes sure we get our salvation right. You know, everything is gonna work itself out. I'm a believer and proponent for that. I wanna make sure more than anything that we really make sure we have an understanding on salvation, that we don't go through and waste a whole lot of time, you know, not getting it, you know, and that's something you don't want to do, live a whole long period of time, learn a whole lot of language, a whole lot of conversation, a whole lot of verbiage, and then don't get the simplicity of making sure at the end of the day we get it right. That'll be worse than any slavery, any COVID, any vaccine, anything. I think the most tragic thing for anybody is to die and not be right. I think that reigns supreme over anything you can do. Because at the end of the day, we all gonna die, whether it's a car wreck or choking or in your sleep or misdiagnosis or just, you know, time overtaking. But one thing about it, we don't all have to go to Sheol. We don't have to allow that to be our last, you know, our last destination. And I appreciate the fact that we are a multicultural congregation. It takes something. Why are you laughing at, Twan? I was talking about how we are all multicultural. I mean, how many of all y'all mixed with more than one race? Hold on, stop. Leave your hand, freeze them. What side we start on? Hold on for a minute. All right, put them back down and stop. We'll go one more. Now, this Keelan, formerly show, the artist formerly show. Please tell me what you mix with. Cause as long as I know, have anybody had that conversation with her that she will mix with something else? So nobody had that conversation. How many times did we not have a day we ask everybody to raise your hand if it's something we don't know about that we searched though we need to know? Did we not say that? Cause one of them fall out, they say, hey, we need type BOA, whatever. And you like, oh, I ain't got it cause I'm interracial. We need to know now. Now what are she done took out running, that's tight. Well, oh, there you go. What race, how many, is it more than one race? That ain't good one. Oh, one now. Oh, you gonna pull that card. Okay. Who else we got? Liana, we know. What race? Hawaiian, then Chinese, then they throw Japanese on you. Yeah, they throw that on them. So she justified. We done seen some of her proof now. Ain't that right? We ain't never seen you throw a luau before. Really, huh? But you've been over that long enough, she'll take on some. You been to a luau before? With the pig? Well, you can't use Hawaiian. Hawaii eat plenty of pork. You ate pork when you was over there? Oh yeah, shit, yeah. Hawaiian pork heavy. Hawaiian pork heavy. Now who else we got here? What are these other multicultural races? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get hold on. We gotta move it on. We know you mixed with demons and what else? Now what you supposed to be mixed with? Can I borrow one of your kids? Is one on album? Is somebody asleep? Can I borrow it for a second, Hadassah? Can you come in 1 second, sweet? I just say something. You'll come around this side, huh? Okay. Thank you so much. Now I know she makes. I was just trying to say, you good. Let's thank you. Now, you say you what now? You mix with what is it? How many of y'all have even Justin looked at? He said, no, that's not what I. You believe he mixed with Caucasian? Look at him. Chris. Thank you. Yeah, black Caucasian. Yeah. Candace said a black Caucasian. What kind? Oh, yeah. I believe that. He got that right feel. So every day his skin get blacker and blacker. Yeah, no. So we got a Caucasian mix. We got the artist formerly known as Shoulder Chanel. She is multicultural mix. Dexter had her hand up. Dexter, how many races? Caucasian, Jamaican, Nigerian, and micro what? How you mix with Negro? Negro is all them Negroes. That man said, hold on, and Negro. Everybody with the skin got the Negro. The Negro is a giver. That man said, I don't know, can you be black and mix with Negro? I'm just asking, is that possible? Like, I'm Jamaican and Negro? Is it possible? I'm just curious. Is it possible would them be considered two, right? The same thing. That man said, Jamaican, Nigerian, what's the other one? Oh, Negro, Spanish. That's tight. Who else we got in here? Lanita. Lanita, we know you about, how old are you, Lanita? How old are you? 39. I don't know, 39, I know Lanita about 42 years. And now what's the nationality? That's a lot of man. That's a lot. Who else I got in him? Oh, I got Kasha. Cherokee. The car? Gosh, you ain't never told you were part Indian.
My grandma, on my mom's side, they all Cherokee.
Oh, they all Cherokee? That's something. His grandmama, his daddy's side all Cherokee. Your mama's side all Cherokee. Then his daddy's side all Laredo. Like Cherokee, Laredo. Don't worry about it. You had no car. Don't worry about it. Chrysler, Cherokee, Dodge. Don't worry about it. Okay, Cherokee. But then you more Japanese than anything. Exactly. He more Japanese than the kids. Ain't it? Like, he said, listen, I hate this stuff. You got to take my black card in there running. I don't blame him. Michelle, you met how many different races? Three. What's the different races? Black, and more black. Finally, we got one in here. Woo, boy. Just right in here. Just what you mix with? Indian. Hold on. Indian and who else?
I'm going to say Native American.
And Native American. Yeah, that's it. Sioux Indian. I know. So you stay in court a lot. Y'all get that Sioux Indian? How do I come up with this stuff? It's like it just be coming to me, Sioux Indian. Oh, that's all right now. Who else out there? You gotta be mixed with something. What is that? What you mixed with? Nothing you know. You got something he don't know about. We're gonna look at it. Does anybody know how to take his blood or something and send out? What you gotta take some blood or something or pull a hair string? What you gotta do to find out what it is? Huh? You know what we can do? We can put a piece of cauliflower in front of him, a baby back rib. You know what I'm saying? Just put the different foods and see what one he go for first and which one he struggling with. That help us know. That's the best way to do it. Y'all all right? Man, Santa was talking earlier what she meant, Mexican and China. Let me ask something. Now, two of her sisters married a Mexican. So that make her niece and nephew and them have Mexican. They do have something, because y'all related. Isn't that right? But it's still like it's in the blood. Y'all at the family, you got to break it all. You got to put it all on the family tree. Isn't that right? Kerry, what you miss with? I need to. Y'all hear that? What y'all think about it? He said we might not believe it. That's going to be one for the record. What we miss with, Kerry? Cherokee. That's a lot of Cherokee. Who else? Bahamian and Negro. American slave. Hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute. You mix with Bahamian, American Negro, the original seller from Nigeria, the original seller. Hold on for a minute. This is New Hampshire. You know something about that? The Nigerians came out here and settled in Bahamas. In Bahamas, I know they had to be slated, and the black folk don't settle. They get captured, they get tied down. What's some black people like that come to America talking about, here we'll settle. No, no, here you'll work for the rest of your life. So them say Bahamian, Nigerian. Negro slave. How many of y'all having a problem with all these nationalities? Hold on. I'm trying to get it from. He put American slave and Negro. I'm trying to figure, what's the difference? Is there a difference between American slave and American Negro? Yes, sir. Oh, your granddad admit you trying to convince Keisha?
My great-granddad
married your grandmama. Married a white British. In the Bahamas. And that would be your grandmama. Hold on. Your granddaddy married a white British woman.
The first black dentist on this side of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Come from Catwalk, Bangtown. Nassau, Bahamas. That's where it come from because they were.
The first dentist?
I was trying to figure out how you pulled that off.
Hold on for a minute. I'm so confused. Hold on for a minute. The first black dentist came here for this side of Atlanta, came from the Bahamas.
Yep, Nassau, Bahamas.
But you know they actually equate dentistry with Miss Raim.
I know that.
With Miss Raim. That they actually were kind of the first people from, I'm just trying to watch. From the Bahamas though, we kind of got a little issue that Bahama thing, but that's the first time we heard that, kid. Your grandma. But your grandma would be the white British lady. But you mentioned the white British lady like she ain't your grandma.
I grew up seeing her. They got pictures of her.
Oh, you ain't saying.
They got pictures of her. I got an auntie that looks just like her.
Where's she at now? Your grandma?
Oh, no, my grandma just passed. She was like 97 when she passed.
You seen her? You seen the grandma? Was she white? Not the white lady. Well, that wasn't their grandma. That's your great grandma. You seen the Cherokee lady? She worked that dog. This is interesting information, ain't it? Not just interesting information, but you never know that some of y'all need to try to call one of them ancestry.com, find out who y'all you belong to. I know Jahi looked at here, he mixed with chimp. He got 3/4 baboon, 2/5 ape. Isn't that right? Then he 50% coon. Isn't that right? He actually, he got a lot of nationality mixed up there with. That's all right though. Good to meet all y'all multicultural people right now. Ray, you mixed, here we go. Go ahead, you got, yes and now. What you mixed with? You got white, they say. White, she has white, they say, on your dad's side. Talking about your dark skinned daddy. Okay. Just you heard that? Okay. But you don't see that in law. You can see the white in him? Okay, then. I go. Oh, he did. I can't believe that. Native American.
This is what now. This is my dad now.
This or that.
He sent the girls, like, he's registered as, like, some Native American tribe, like, sent the girls, like, these T-shirts and stickers of Native American stuff, so, you know, it has...
He's registered. He might have some paperwork. Mm-hmm. Did you know your dad-in-law was a registered Indian? Oh, Cherokee. That's a lot of Cherokee. Why the folk don't be Blackfoot or Navajo? Y'all know it's more Indian than Cherokee around on the east side, down this way. Actually, the Seminoles coming out from west. Hold on, stop us up. I got a, what'd you say, British? I mean, more further south. Georgia, Cherokee. I know Cherokee County. He said the SEC. Oh, they play football? They must say that in the SEC. Now go ahead. So Indian, Caucasian.
That's how I know that. And my mom said it was supposed to be some, it was Native American. I was looking for the picture, I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
One of our in-laws, like, the lady could actually tell they were, like, really dressed in. I couldn't find it. It's like my great-great-so from my big grandma.
You got a big one and a small one? You say your big grandmama? That is amazing. If you have a great grandmama, you call them big mama. I don't know, do white people do that? I'm just curious. But black people, if you have a grandmama, the grandmama before her, if she alive, you call her big mama. That's what people call them big. Did your grandmama, was your great grandmama living when you were living? He died.
Chanel said her family owns most land in Alabama or something like that. I never said that.
Chanel said, they own cars in them. Cars. You know, Chanel family own most of the land in Alabama. They say they own all of Huntsville. Clear up to Mississippi. That family, we heard Louisiana. They call his granddaddy Raging Cajun. How many folks y'all know from Mississippi? Chris, you from Mississippi. If I was from Mississippi, they call me Raging Cajun. Where I'm from? Not Mississippi though. I had them about that. They call him Gray. They just call him Ninth Ward. If they call you Ninth Ward, what part of Mississippi you from? What that sound like? Yeah. He said grenade the bunch. What's it? They call him Lake Pontchartrain. What part? I'm talking about what part of Mississippi that is? Leave that Lake Pontchartrain. Yeah, you know Lake Pontchartrain in Mississippi now. Where's that Lake Pontchartrain? That's in Louisiana. Yeah, crawfish. They call him crawfish. He'd fight like this. And they call him silk. If you fight like they call you crawfish. That's not a Mississippi. That's right though. He meant well though. Well, it's too to be alive. Too to see all y'all. We miss with anything. I don't want this nigga to get by. We ain't got nothing. Oh, we mix with anything. Cause all these niggas mix with something. We ain't got nothing. I ain't supposed to say we just pure niggas. That's it. I think on my dad's side. We had some, on my dad's side, they are though. They had the blue eyes, but they ain't never talk about it. Yeah, so we got some blue eyes. You don't just get them from anywhere. You can't buy. Did any of y'all had by y'all found blue eyes? That's what I thought. So, hold on, Chris. Who in your family had blue eyes? Don't do. He ain't speaking. Hold on. Oh, Chris. So you tell me, Lake Pontchartrain, Ninth Ward. Chris, we never had that conversation. Your granddad had blue eyes. I thought you said your granddad looked like Joe Louis.
He did, with blue eyes.
Chris, and we get a mic. Can you tell how that story came up? The one how it came up by him and Joe Louis. And they had a mic. You got a mic, tell it. What happened? So we know how this story came up. Because y'all going to go out here, listen, if y'all going to go out here and tell folk that Chris granddaddy beat Joe Louis so I had it bleed, these folk going to question y'all, am I not? Y'all gonna need some more information, some important document or something where you tell, then people say, oh, that makes sense, right? So just tell her, tell her what happened with Lake Puncher training. What happened? I mean,
So we was all hanging out down in the country.
In the country.
And
What
my
country
aunt
was that?
in Mississippi, Gloucester.
Okay, country, okay. The
Amite
country on
County.
the other side of America. Okay.
So we was hanging out, and my aunt found an old picture of my grandpa from World War II, the old Army picture.
Old Army picture.
And my Uncle Butler was like, Daddy, you look like Joe Louis in this picture.
Uh-huh.
He said, oh, yeah, I ain't never told y'all about that story. I knocked Joe Louis out. So he said he got in the ring. They was doing an exhibition fight in World War II, and Joe Louis didn't take him serious.
Yeah.
So he got him and knocked him out.
Knocked him out. Look at that.
Yes, sir.
Boy, that's the truth right there if you ever heard it. Man, look at him. If you knock Joe Louis out, you think you wait to tell somebody you're 150 years old. You don't stop talking. Even before I ask you where the street at, so you know I knocked out Joe Louis. Yeah. Man, I grab Joe Louis and make him stay right, because folks ain't gonna believe me. I'm gonna make Joe Louis right up nose, I'm gonna knock you back right down, and I knock you, because folks ain't gonna believe it. And sign under it, this is me, Joe Louis, writing this. Because you need proof of this. So then the news got it, and it went all over the world. How long y'all think, if you knocked out Joe Louis, you think they gonna be able to keep that a secret? If you got in a closet and knocked Joe Louis out, don't you know one of the coats and they're gonna tell it? Matter of fact, one of them coats gonna turn. Y'all heard of a turncoat? See what I'm saying? How I come up with this? And then after that, and what happened after that? After that story came out, cause how the kids, it's some more to that story, ain't it?
What's the mo?
I don't know. Cause once you said, yeah, I told y'all I knocked out Joe Louis one time. So what everybody do? What you'll do? You just stop or you start asking questions? Oh, what happened at that part?
I didn't ask no questions.
Anybody else say anything?
What you talking about, preacher?
Yes. You think you can end a story like that just say you knocked out Joe Louis? The Joe Louis. Did anything else happen after that? I mean, was there any more conversation? Anybody else talking? Cause that would have still the room, would it not? Yeah. If I told you, I told y'all, I knocked out Mike Tyson. People be like, oh, you just end that story like that? Oh, what happened? What happened? And then what he do? Then what happened? So then anybody else? What else happened?
Not that day.
Not that day.
No,
What
sir.
happened after
No,
that?
sir. So later on, some years later,
couple years later, because that story got to keep going.
I asked my father
Yes.
if he remembered when Granddaddy told us that story.
Yes.
And my dad was like, oh, Daddy be get to drinking, he be lying a lot.
Yeah, and whose side you believe now?
I believe my granddaddy.
Yeah, that's a good story though. Did you ever tell any of your friends about that?
No, sir.
That's
Just
what
y'all.
that's them. So we might not even be a friend. He knew. He said, "Cause you know you told your friend that wasn't gonna end." What? No, like how he said, what made him look at us, y'all, and tell us that? What is it about us, y'all, when he told us that story? See that? Y'all better check yourself. All right, we're gonna get ready to go to work. I appreciate it. I need this story. All right, we're gonna start off. Y'all know we start and get us a foundation, correct? All right, let's go. Romans 15:4. Listen.
For what things soever need katab
Written,
for our lament,
to show us and teach us, instruct us,
that through endurance
the going through without giving way,
and the nakum of the ketubim
and going and the comfort of the writings,
we might have tikva.
we might have tikva. We talked about I erased it, the 10th chapter of the book of Romans. Let's see where that go. I think we left off there, didn't we? Did we? For whatever reason, we'll look at it again. The 10th chapter of the book of Romans. Romans chapter 10, verse 1. All right, come on.
Akeem, the will of my Lord, indeed, and my Palau Elohim is for them unto Yeshua.
Come on.
For I bear them witness.
Hold on, stop for what is Yeshua? I'm just curious if it writes something different. And again, these words, you can, of course, we get an understanding from them from the English. And even though we'll go back and look them up in the English, the goal, I guess for me, what I try to do, Sometimes, y'all ever heard the saying before, quote unquote, the Indians had, people said to understand a man, walk a mile in his moccasins. Y'all heard that before? And might say, just say he walks like kind of his tippy toe, you wear his moccasin, he might realize they were kind of shrugged up on his foot. That's why he had to walk like, well, they was too big. Just, I'm just making up something that's nice. But you got to understand, and when people said that, you can better understand a person's reaction to things if you put on what they had on, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So with saying that, when we look up the words, even though we'll look them up, we get an English definition to them. I guess I try to get an understanding, like, what was their perception about salvation versus our way of salvation. From a Christian dialect of how I saw it, salvation for us, I think for most of us, was you shouted. If you were saved, you were supposed to shout. Yeah, I remember they would equate, if you were saved, people ask that, you shout. If you say you were saved, yeah, Christian church earlier, that's what people knew about. You were shouting, you had the Holy Ghost. If you say you had the Holy Ghost, it was going, later people came with, like the Holiness churches came up with speaking in tongues. Baptists of the Christian church looked at, then you shouted if you had the Holy Ghost. So these are things we more or less associated with the behavior. And, I don't know, we put a lot of understanding on what it took for a person to obtain it, to get that point. People just say they confessed and they got it. So my goal, or what should be our goal, I feel, is kind of understanding how they saw things, how they process things, because you got to consider the word that was spoken to them, the debar, was spoken to them in a way that they could understand it, and it would have been associated with things that they dealt with. So you had an idea of the process, versus when we process things, anything we process more or less in a more modern time, simply because this is where we're at now. But a lot of things for them was just simple. Even the idea of when they used the Oliver chart. So they lived a more simple life, a lot less simplistic. With us, it's more complicated because it just depends. It's so many different ways you can look at a thing to where sometimes interpretations can kind of veer off or not be as complete. You got what I'm saying? Just like, before we look at this, let's look at, first I would say, let's look at why the act would even come in. How about that? Let's look up what sin. We'll look up sin from the English and from the Abari, right? Which is going to be kataim, plural, which will be the same thing as the sinner. Sin. We're going to play that. Y'all should get a pair. An immoral act considered to be a transgression against divine law. We know we wouldn't actually use divine because divine would kind of refer to more of a Greek connotation, but we understand what they're trying to say. Basically something above us, you know what I'm saying, more or less. And divine, play with divinity, and then you start dealing with theology. So people say, I have a degree in divinity. Y'all heard people say that? All they was trying to say, they had a degree in theology. Okay, and you break that same thing, you can go in theoretical. So it's a lot of different ways they can play. You can play with words. So I want to, hold on, before you go there, please, kind sir. Let's see that again. You got a picture sent in? For those that want, she took a picture. So this is what I want. It's an immoral act considered to be a transgression against divine law. Let's look at what moral is. So play with some, since we're using words, let's look at them and kind of get an idea. You'll be surprised if you sat people down in the same religion, in the same room, and you'll be surprised how everybody process things. And that'll be based off a few things, how your rearing plays a part of a lot. It's a lot. Some things, depending on how you grew up and how you saw things and what you saw happen, it hampers a way, or it can enhance a way you see or you perceive things. So you look at just in 1 Corinthians, 1:10, it tells us, and he said, I beseech you, ask, maybe palau, ask, or maybe the beseech is encouraged, maybe strongly encouraged, that you all speak same thing. And the only way to do that is everybody has to know the same thing. That's how imperative it is that we all know the same things and we understand from from where things originate from, and you deal with that group of people because that's who the conversation was to. Just like in 834, you know how to get we y'all write an air. Yukonah 8 and 32. Then said Yahushua Yahudim. Why he just didn't say it to everybody? Or just say, now with that conversation, him saying then say Yahushua to those Yahudim that among on him, it's more or less distinctive to who he was talking to. So is that to say no one else was around? Because you're distinct in the conversation to me leading that they weren't the only people around. So you saying that to them, again, you're looking at the fact that they believed on him. That would be based upon what we know. So based off of what we know and your belief system, it's easier for you to process what I'm saying. I can engage this conversation with you. You got what I'm saying? If you don't see it that way or you don't understand it that way and you're not a person that's a believer, then I'm not talking to you. Because it's going to be like people say, people use the conversation. Y'all heard that? Quit beating a dead horse. Y'all heard that? Think about it. If a horse is like, typically when a rider is going, he's hitting the horse to go faster. Come on, most of y'all, they be hitting the horse, they snapping, because they're trying to get the horse to produce more out of it. So if the horse is dead, it doesn't make sense to do this. So that's the sense, or that's the practicality of trying to teach people or have the conversation of salvation with people that don't believe it, because they don't see it that way. That's not the culture. You got it. When we deal with these people, you have to look at their culture. There's no way not. It's like, if I'm going to describe the native Indian people, I got to deal with their culture. From typically when you deal with them, you just go back to earlier Native Americans. Most of the time they showed us TV. You would see them with a horse, with a saddle. You would see them, they'll have on like the vest. You know what I'm saying? You'll see them with the short sleeve shirts under the vest. Yeah, I remember, how many used to watch the old cowboy movies? Y'all remember they used to be riding with the saddles and then they would have the vest on, remember that? I'm going to put you 5 checks by your name. There's no way you remember no Indian around with no saddle. Only time you seen Indians around with saddle when they were later. A lot of people, they felt like saddles restrict the animal. It's a lot of weight. It restrict. Look, you taking it and you tying it at the bottom. And it's across his belly, or across her belly. You ever watch they tie it, it's a belt, you're pulling it. It's tight, it's across their belly, restricted. And the Indians felt like he should ride free. You don't ride him, you ride him, ride the animal for who it is. Don't put that restriction, put the weight on them. They rode the animal loose, that's their culture. They wouldn't ride with the shirts and other things we wore. But we'll say, man, look at these people neck, that's their culture. So to understand them is to understand their culture. No doubt somebody rode with a saddle and wore boots, look, they were stupid, they wore moccasins. I mean, that's stupid. I wouldn't wear no stupid stuff, I wear boots. That's because that's your custom. And because that's your custom, anything outside the way you do things, and I'm guilty of that. I've been totally guilty of that. Because when you don't understand customs, then it's going to be an issue. Because then the way people do things, it just looks stupid, it look dumb, it look retarded, it look ill-informed, and that's simply because you're processing it from your culture. Y'all got it? So now when we look at these things, we have to look at it from the culture of the people, from where they were at, and how this is the thing, for everybody that takes what we call the word, we'll go with word. Nothing wrong with word. We say the bar. That's his language, what we believe is language. Okay, if we're gonna go back to that point, or just deal with it English, how we just keep it English, you still, at some point, doesn't it cross us to say, how was it for them? What was their perception? I mean, dealing with them, because sometimes you'll think as though they were having the English conversation, and they could have been like right here, but they weren't. I don't think the geological location place, when I said it was important, don't take me wrong on that. But I think it's more of the conversation and how they process it. He talked with them and gave them things based upon, you should know these things. I held you accountable. I didn't allow you to just kind of go through and make all these mistakes and keep going. I didn't. I was strict on you. I cut you off quick. You think about Adam, one shot. So what had to be a processing level of what he was getting? Probably didn't understand nothing. He probably sitting up, come on, what you say? I mean, if I gave it to you and I hold you to that kind of strictness, what has to be your processing? What'd you say? Gotta be. Otherwise it don't make sense. I can't go take a baby and whoop a brand new baby behind. You know, you've been here for 6 months and you still pissing on yourself. I'm gonna beat your behind. Don't make sense, it's not there. Cause you think about for most of y'all, for parents, how many parents have got in here? Small kids, you remember kids got enough. At what age do you start popping? Anybody give me an age, earliest age they can remember popping? Probably 1. What was you popping for? Because they wouldn't go to the refrigerator, wouldn't cook? What was it? Touching something they weren't supposed to touch. Do you feel like it was fair? Do you feel like they didn't know, they were innocent, they didn't have any idea, or you popped because you know, I told you, and this was to guard you to get you back, or because you keep doing it, I feel like you process enough at that age, you should not be doing that. The latter. Now you talking about a 1-year-old, and that's right. It's only certain things you'll pop them for, cause you you only gonna pop them because I watched you, and I know you. I'm saying when you pop a child, you watched it and realize I know what you're doing. Like what you doing? The kid jump, you like you doing something, and the fact that you jumped says you knew and you didn't want to get caught. Like Adam, when they hid when he called. Because you didn't know, you've been standing right now. What? What's up? What you mean, what's up? I don't know what's up. Cause you be like, he retarded. He don't know. You keep going. What I'm gonna say, you retarded, because you heard me come. You should have knew I would come to break your neck. But the fact you standing there talking about, yeah, what's up, I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? Just chilling, ain't anybody doing that. You know what I'm saying? But you see what I'm saying? So you start looking at how long do you get? You know what I'm saying? Or we need to be at a certain space or place to where we can pick things up better to where we don't find ourselves in so much of an enigma. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's still a lot of complexity when you're dealing with our writings, okay? With translation, ain't just with translation, because you still got to go back. These are things a lot of time I don't think we really consider earlier. You really have to go back and deal with their culture. See, unlike say Islam, okay? The difference with Christianity and Islam, Christianity does have a similarity. If you look at all of their laws, they all kind of portrayed from biblical teachings. Why I can't kill a man? They say it's wrong, unless it's in self-defense. The same way it was, or it's by accident. That's the same thing your book had. If it was because I was in defense of my life, or if someone accidentally kill you, the law does have provision for that. It does not grade a man the same way as our law did. So there were provision put in. So if you look earlier, their law or Christianity played a lot to do with their law. Even with school, you did not go to school and you weren't taught some scriptures. I don't know, when you were in school, did they teach any Bible or y'all had to recite anything from the Bible, or did it play a part when you was in school? I'm just curious. Y'all had to pray? So you see that they had prayer in school. Some school, even you look at a lot of private school, Christian school, they'll do that. Notice, because they'll keep the religion as a part of the education. When you deal with Islam, Sharia law plays from the Quran. Because they look at it, there's no way to have it and it not be a part of your everyday living. Now look at our living. Even with Christianity has nothing to do with what these people are doing. Christianity plays no part. It was things you didn't do. It was certain things a woman couldn't do. It's certain things listen, that's a whore. She's a whore and she was looked down as a whore, and that's just got that. Because those were Christian values. If you drank on Sunday, you snuck and you drunk. You were not out drinking. It was forbidden. Chris, I remember growing up, you went to a bootlegger. You put it in bags, you don't buy no street drinking up and down. They're like, what you doing? We did it, don't get me wrong. I was hot there. It was just certain things. You bought it on Saturday night. It was like, Chris, no, at 12:01, liquor store shut down. When everybody moved here from upstate, now Florida kept it. Florida always had that. That blew my mind. I remember the first time when Walgreens was in Florida in the 90s. I had never heard of Walgreens. And we went in there, and the guy was with, he got the little sale paper. And I'm trying to figure out why was he getting the sale paper. He said, I'm trying to see what liquor on sale. I was like, a sale paper? Listen, the liquor was in the, you know how you got a little cell paper coming in? This Tangeray, listen, we in the store looking through, I'm sitting here like, what kind of store is this? We buying liquor from a drugstore. And it was just the norm. He looked at the sale paper like we were like trying to see maybe it was chips 2 for $1, or was the drinks like 3 for 12. It threw me, but that was, you know what I'm saying? That was normal for me. It's like, Georgia, we don't even sell alcohol except from, the only place you can get is a liquor store. You can get it from a drug, like beer from a drugstore, but typically you're gonna get it from a liquor store. And you're gonna get it on Sundays, you're gonna get it from a bootleg house. So these were customs. And I say that to say how they moved away from even their so-called quote unquote Christian ethics. And now, I'm just saying a lot of stuff, it was just, you didn't have it here. Let me tell you something. People that couldn't come here in the early 80s. Prince couldn't come. Y'all remember the artist named Prince? Prince was banned from Georgia and Alabama. He would sing and he would touch himself him. A lot of people made Michael Jackson stop that stuff. He was doing all this him. No. Christian back, they're like, no, you can't do that. Most of y'all, they banned them. Madonna would go to jail. A lot of y'all were kids. They would lock Madonna. Listen, Madonna be on stage performing. The police standing right there behind. When she get through, she go to jail. She do that like a bird, laying on that bed, rubbing herself. They let her know, you're going straight to jail. They're like, you can't be sitting out here. Now look at, now you get up here and get butt naked. Bring these niggas up here. I want, get these hoes off the stage. I want these niggas. Do y'all understand this is how our culture has changed? Listen, if you were on stage rubbing yourself, listen, they let you know, listen, you can't come back and do no more, you can't do no more concerts here. 2 Live Crew got banned. Most of y'all, how many of y'all remember 2 Live? Y'all heard of 2 Live Crew. They banned 2 Live Crew. They been, oh so horny. You got girls on stage with bikinis. They let them know, you can't perform here. They let that man, we can't have that kind, that's a bad ethic. Look at where we at now. Look at what people can look and say, because even the little falsism of Christianity held some form of, to where they looked at, you can't do, them guys knew you're not gonna make no money in Georgia. You got to go up there with them freaks and let them do it. You can't come down here and rub on yourself. You ain't getting no shower. You ain't gonna be international. You ain't gonna be on no stage and on talking about Little Nicky. You're not grinding him. They're like, man, we don't play that. Even though people might have done it, they looked at it's dangerous to put that in front of people and dangle the carrot, as they say, in front of the baby. So, and I say all that to say the importance of why we need the structure of our religion and how it was actually formulated. We need to get down to the roots of what they saw, what they knew, and how they processed things. This is where we get it. It's just like it was. Church is church here. Once you're out of church, then it's world. Just like it was for New Year's. You go to church, 12:01, he needs to come on. I came out, you pray, get all that so you don't get killed. Because people always get killed New Year. Now you don't want to get killed for New Year. Y'all know whenever New Year coming, folk die right coming up to it, and folk die right when they come. So you come down there and pray. Let the man say, let me pray for y'all go out in the street, go to the club. And then you be looking, it's out to 12. And preacher says, I'm holding somebody gonna go out there and get killed. You say, 5 more minutes. I gotta wait, the man just throw the jinx on me. They're talking about one gonna go out there and get killed, trying to run out there. So you gotta hold off, can't run out right then. So all these things, but you looked at, I need to get this in. Let me at least acknowledge him first. Maybe he won't kill me, maybe he won't. That's not even our mindset anymore. They've pushed us so out of culture, so out of the way to where people want the newest writings, the plainest reading, and no understanding, and still be saved. It makes no sense. Unless we can look at what was their understanding about it. For me, what was their understanding? Because I want to know what they knew. If he granted this to those people, what did they understand? What did they process? You talking about we have so many different ways the language can be broken down. You know what I'm saying? Now, in so many different ways you can pick out key points of writings. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have that. This is just plain. That's all it is. And they understood it enough to be able to receive the Ruach HaKodesh. Ask yourself, why people don't get it in groves the way they did? Why people don't get it right after here and now? We're a lot more intellectual, We have a lot more technology. Listen, if I'd have gave one in the book, and I just handed in the book of Yeshayahu, I said, and read where it said that the spirit of Yahuwah is upon him, the rock. You know how long it'll take him to get to that? Do you understand how much reading they would have to do? Through this one sefer, because it's not numbered. Ain't no verse to go to. You read till you get there. That's what they told when they gave Yahushua when they opened it. That's what the place was. They didn't say, oh, the man opened it up on book chapter 53. Couldn't have told you that. Where it was open at, that's where we pick and we read from. And these people read. And these people, a lot of these people were reciters. So you're listening to make sure you mimic. You got it, and that becomes a problem. You have a lot of mimicking people. We've mimicked a long time. Now we got to make sure we come in and we understand. We got to learn how to process. You know what I'm saying? To make sure I understand the rationale of why I need to be saved. Why you need to be saved? Well, I mean, because you're supposed to. That's not an answer. Who told you you're supposed to? Based off of what? And they said, well, that's like you questioning. I'm not questioning. If I don't know, then you can't expect me to perform. You can't. Y'all jump up here and do a routine dance, I jump right up here. Why this stupid fool can't do it? I'll be honest with you, because I don't know it. Well, you can't be that stupid. Just get in there and try to do what you can do. And that's what we've done. We've jumped in the middle of a routine, and we're afraid that people are going to say we're stupid because we don't know, instead of just saying, I don't know. I need to understand why. We've joined groups, associations. We've done so many things over the course of our life. If you get a certain period of age, you do kind of go back over your life and realize how many things you really did that didn't make sense. And you don't when you're young. For a lot of y'all, you won't do it. And I ain't mad at you. It take you to burn yourself out, kill yourself, make so many decisions you have to face every day and look. It's decisions I have to face every day and look at it and say, wow, you were really stupid. And the only reason why that happened, because if I don't see it that way, it's going to be hard to break me down to get me to make changes. Because I say every decision I ever made was a good decision. I've always made great decisions. I've always been a good decision maker. I've always been key point on it. He said, no, you haven't. Not if you got here. Because you had that, there's no reason for you to come. I ain't talking about here, but reaching the point of seeking salvation. You got what I'm saying? To me, there are certain things you need to kill. Why were you even looking for it? For me, it was conviction. Conviction for wrong. Some people just stumble across it. You know, I was listening, you know what? I said, you know what, that's interesting. You know what I'm saying? They okay, I got that. That wasn't my testimony. I think it can be as calm and cool as that is. What can really persuade you to get to the more earnest part of yourself? Y'all got what I'm saying? To me, I think it's almost like when he talked about the city of refuge. See, they understood things like that. That if I was doing something and that wasn't my intent, okay? But it still fell out to a point of, this is wrong. And when they catch and the judgment come down, they're going to give you the letter of the law. They're going to catch you here. That man or that woman's going to be dead. Now, whether intent or not, they're just going to go flat with what the law is. This person is dead and you the person done it. And all we know is to kill you. Now, there's a city that you can flee to. And when you flee to that city is off limit for the person that's trying to avenge the person that's dead. Y'all got that? So now, let's think about this. I hypothetically just did not, hypothetically just kill Eric. Accident, not intent, never meant. I couldn't believe it happened. I hate it happened so bad. He has a son, or 3 sons. And his 3 sons looked at, all they know, they got a dead dad and Tony Smith did it. They looking at, I got sons, they need to suffer the loss of a daddy just like they suffer the loss of a daddy. Now I got to get ready to flee to that city if I don't want these boys to lay down the execution of the law. Got it? Now, to get in that city, now I won't have time probably to go and kiss the wife and kiss all my grandkids and go by and see my mama. Because them boys on the move. They done heard their daddy dead and they ain't waiting. They looking now. So there's some things I got to look at. I just got to let go in order to save my life. Now, some people, that's stupid. I go and see all my family. Yeah, but what if they catch you before you finish? And because I want to live, there's some things I just got to look at. my life and me living right now is more important than trying to run go see everybody I know and tell them I'm finna get ready to go and explain to them and do the crying and holding. I gotta go. I think when you see that, a person can't consider now when you tell a person about leaving father and mother. Because if you look at it, all of us are in or have been in that position to where somebody in pursuit of you. Somebody in pursuit of you for your life. Because let me see, they use immoral. Let's find it. Let's say the home. Was they're concerned with the principles of right and wrong behavior and goodness or badness of, that's why we can't use stuff like this. Human character has never been right or moral. See, this is the problem you start looking up sometimes, because this almost attests to or validates man behavior, that man is the mark that you should follow for right and wrong. Man sets the protocol for right and wrong and morality. You know what I'm saying? Look at it. That's all it is. It told you what sin was. It was immoral. Then the way they told you about the writings were almost, if that's how you see it. But they stated to you that it was an immoral. Okay? So basically, it's when you don't have the principles of right and wrong behavior and goodness or badness of human character. And human character is basically against everything Elohim has established. That's how you got into this state where we find that so many child sexual exploits or whatever we call exploits. This is why we have homosexuality on the rage, people killing one another, because this is human character. And man will lie so much, he will try to act like he has this ethic or this characteristic or this ideal or principle living, and it's so right, and the majority of people, or there is a mass of people with this morality. That's the people who killing people, these are the homosexuals. The moral character of man. How you think man gets it? How man does it? That's his character. What is man, making it up? That's his character. So he's come along to establish and give us the characteristics of Elohim. If man's character was that, why would you not let man mimic man? Why is there such a drive to mimic him? Think about it. Man, moral character, right and wrong, all this is a human character, his judgment, and this is moral, his morals. So why would you need to learn anything about the laws and principles of Elohim? All this, man teach man how to do right. Man show man how to do right, because man can't do it. Man has done what he's subject to do, what he want to do. That's man basically in. Man does not want a controller. Man does not want somebody to show him to do. Man wants to do itself. And that's why man is killing himself. That's why man is on destructo path. Because he will, and Elohim is to the point where let man go and see for himself. You will be the killer and destroyer of yourself unless we come back and understand the ideas of Yahuwah, the existing one. Why wouldn't I follow him? Let me see. Basically, he tells me something to do. Why should I listen to you? Because I exist. You're going to die. I always will exist. If you want to exist, follow the pattern that I set before you. Y'all got it? Try to get your mind wrapped around the ideals that I established. It's for man's existence. Look at what happened. Man is killing man. Things around man is killing man. Elohim is killing man. The principal ideas he set up were, I'm going to teach you some things that will keep me and you from being at odds with one another. Then I'm going to give you some things that's going to keep you from being at odds with one another. Then I'm going to set boundaries around you. All of these things are set so you can actually exist. You can learn to trade and deal with one another and exist. But man got his own idea. Look where we at now. We everywhere. Everywhere's being, tell me today, what's a good, safe place to go live at? How about growing up? What place did any of y'all always want to stay? Hawaii. Why Hawaii? I'm going to tell you now, growing up, now, Price is Right. I don't know why that. It was always Puerto Vallarta. It was always some Mexico. Who remember that? It was always some Mexico. and they made Mexico look clean. It was a ship going to Mexico. I ain't going. I guess when all the folks Price is Right messed up Mexico. I mean, they said Puerto Vallarta. I said, yeah, I wouldn't go there. I mean, everywhere was on everything was. You didn't realize what was they shot in California. Yes. No, when they said all you had to do was walk down the street. In the street with Puerto Vallarta. And they give you that. What's another? They used to have another. What's another friend? St. Lucas. That was, who said Lucia? Who said Lucia? Come on. That was just, we was in the spirit then. Slow it down. He said, he mean Lucius now. No, I think they got a St. Lucas in Mexico. I don't know. Did that sound Spanish? Who y'all think I'm asking? Somebody black? No, I'm saying, no. I think it's St. Lucas. Have you heard? Is that sound familiar? Who is from Mexico? Hold on, who? Cabo, yeah. Cabo St. Lucas. It's Cabo St. Lucas. What spirit got you putting that stuff together like that? Who been teaching you? Is that? Who you say? That's scary. But anyway, they were calling some of them names. That stuff just sounded anyway you want to go. But okay, so at looking at this, now we're looking at, and let's go back to sin. So basically, an immoral act considered to be. So when you say consider, is that actually what it is? Or that's kind of in a sense you're saying, this is what, they say it is. But I'm because they let you know immoral, they underline that the act considered to be a transgression against theological law. Pretty much put it, but the immoral and getting to moral is what I'm kind of looking at. Let's look at what they're saying sin is. How about that from what they're defining and go back looking at what they say sin is. That's kata or hata. Because they're going to say CH, then they're saying HH sound. This is another issue here. Well, no. Because the ka is argued to be the H, double H sound. The ha. Because they'll tell you the CH makes a ha. The CH don't make a ha, not a hocking sound. So it's argumentative that it's a double H or the CH. Based off of the ha, it's going to be hard to convince me that's a CH. Let me ask y'all in English, and I'm not asking for does the CH make a ha? It makes more of a ka, does it? I don't know. What y'all saying? CH? Raymond? Depend on the language. Yeah, depend on the language. Okay, so they're trying to say that, but they're saying kata is what they're saying here. And this is what it actually they're saying it is. To miss or fail. Let me borrow it for a second. Right down. Good. If I hit you on save, come on. Come on. And that's on me. He ain't ready. Come on. That's on him. Oh, come on. No, don't put that. No.
I'm trying to give you a bigger target.
Let me just borrow for a second. It got bad. Come on, it'll come. I don't want you to do nothing. That's all. To hit her, I'll be right. Miss. And the reason why I look at that is simple as, fail. We know this on the test. But think about this. To hit her, I will be right. Have you ever did something? I'm gonna hear you get mad with yourself like, this is how they would have perceived kata, sin. It means that's all you missed. You missed. It's not about morality as they're putting it for the human part or grading yourself by man. Because they said we're not as other to judge ourselves. What is it again? By ourselves. And so doing what would that make us? So I would never use another human being for our pattern when it comes down on that idea. When we do, it will be based off the idea of a person that has met all the measure and requirement of what we deem to say that person's saved. That person's been received. That person has been acknowledged by or for their works. You got what I'm saying? So hey, y'all ever throw you like you meant, just like shooting. You think in your mind, you think this and that thing, how you feel? And then you gotta get your head back in it. You're like, ugh. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It'll mess you up. So looking at how they looked at, and it says it's more plain. They said, let me see. When I threw that at her, nobody one more time. Let me see. Hold on. If I hear them right, y'all got it? Immoral, supposed to be divine. Who processing like that? They're processing just like this. I miss. Now, what was my intent? Now, there's two ideas. Did you purposely try to miss? Or you did it and your purpose was to be right, to hit it on the target. So these things I'm trying to look at for me, I want to process things the way, because again, look, when I palau, I can't palau off of, according to your beriff with Shaul and Cup. We go back to Abraham, Yasakar. These men, they would have been on a more primitive. You know what I'm saying? Yet they received something that still today can't be disannulled. You know what I'm saying? You'll know something, it's that it never existed. Do you understand? From the time period that he made this beriff, this covenant with this man, do you understand what man had gone through from this time? We had no malak. We didn't have, the only Kohan we had ever seen was Mount Sadiq. And none of us seen him. From writing we had on a person came to the country that we knew was Abraham. And Abraham paid tithe to him. Abraham, at that point, the man went off the scene. We hadn't seen another until Louis. So since that time, for that time, nothing disannulled from all the acts, all the feet that happened from that, nothing changed that ever comes. You know what? That's about, don't even worry about Abraham. We're going to just move on from here. No, this is still established. So the fact that it's still established, it's going to be hard to convince me to say, why you worry about such a primitive language or a primitive behavior or a primitive way when that primitive way is still established? Mashiach came because of that. Right. Concerning, this is why he came. So now with all of the different groups, from us to Yehudim, other people say Yehudi, Abari, Hebrew, everybody is teaching the Torah. Right. Yet the Torah came into play after. And yet people have, now the argument coming on with Christianity is the law done away with. But everybody can agree, Abraham's still standing. Yeah. Ain't nobody arguing about that. No. Nobody arguing that Abraham is done and on the way. No, the man had a relationship. He said, I counted this man as a rayah. This man was a companion. You see what I'm saying? This man stayed so in line, in tune to what I suggested, what I gave to him, to where I will keep this with him. And because he kept it, that's the only reason why we're here. Because he kept it. Concerning, he told him that through him, all Goyim were going to be Baraka through him. And you got to take Mashiach, and you can't disannul Abraham. If you do, you got to disannul him. That's how he connected his soul. And just saying, well, all that happened now, coming in what people call grace and truth, all that's done away, now said Jesus coming. Yeah, Abraham still existed. So why would I not want to go back and find, as he told us in the book of Kaf, out of Kaf, 1 Peter, when he talked about with salvation, he said the Malachi desired to look into it. He said they wanted to look into it. They were searching what amount of time this was going to happen. Now we've come and we're in a time period where it's already happened, and now we had to come and say, wow, what kind of relationship did you got? How did he process that? What was the thinking? What was the conversation? I mean, why would I not look at it? Nobody pray according to the beriff you made the Tony Smith and to the, nobody, it makes no sense. But we're going back to this primitive man, this ancient man, you know what I'm saying? And yet this is still alive today. What he said he was going to do to this man and for this man and through this man. That's why I'm intrigued to want to know the culture, know the behavior, and looking at how he came into a place of people where I only saw one I take. I take the nephew and the wife. I take the man and I moved and I took him out of there. But the rest I left. And then Pure, what he do, he come back and he'll take one from him. So just showing how he took, and then people want to know, can a clean thing come out of an unclean thing? Isn't that right? And none of us could have ever done it. Right. Elohim could. Yes, sir. Can you understand? He went and took a clean thing out of an unclean thing? Wow. Okay. Let's see. So this intrigues me. They'll go ahead and generally, figuratively, to morally fail. I couldn't use this. This makes no sense for me. I really, that makes sense, because if morality is going to be set by man's character or man's culture, I couldn't use it. Hello? This is the same thing he told us with Yasharal in the 10th chapter book of Romans. For they being ignorant of who was it now? Elohim's moral, and going about to establish their own moral, and have not submitted themselves to the morals of Elohim, of what he called right and wrong. Yet you're going to put this on human characters. The human character is the basis and the idea for how we should conduct ourselves? You couldn't possibly. Not because the book is given to man to show man correct the measure of his behavior, and man will only take what fits him. That's why he moved away. A lot of things man agree with. Adultery was wrong. Years ago, man, you could arrest people. You go to jail. Military, they put you out of the military for it. Now everybody doing it. After the Navy had the tail hook scandal, everybody doing it. That was admirals. You remember the tail hook scandal? You remember that? You remember the tail hook scandal? Wow, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. When I get through, put y'all name on the board. Check by y'all name. No, that's what a lot of admirals and all, they had been sleeping with a lot of the lower ranking women. They had a bunch of sex going on with them, and they had to go ahead and let them retire. That was a big man called the tail hook scandal. Y'all don't remember that? You remember that? It was a big mess. They all got busted for sleeping with them. It was a big mess. So they called it a tail hook scandal. You know how they do. They ain't gonna let them boys go without. Let them just kick them straight out and do what they did to somebody else. You know, lower rank where you just kick them out and you under discharge and let them lose their benefit. You ain't giving them no admirals like that. But it's been going on. You remember hearing about the tail hook scandal? Well, that's because they ain't gonna talk about it much. Why they gonna let you look at them like that? That's just it. So you know what I'm saying? And so with doing that, I just wanted to understand where we were at, okay? So Qatar. I basically look at it as just, you missed. Okay, you went on. You missed. You off target. So to tell me I missed, that tells me there was a target I needed to meet. There was a measure I needed to meet. And they just told me I missed. That's what he said. Every time you meet Qatar, you missed. Now this can come up two ways. You did this intentionally, or you did it ignorantly. Y'all got it? It's only two ways to commit Qatar. How's she gonna do it? Now, when I was doing that, I intentionally did that because I was doing the illustration. Y'all got it? So it's only two ways you can do this. You're gonna purposely miss, or you're going to miss because you're just not right. Either way is dangerous for you. Either or is dangerous. Y'all got it? So if we understand what he's grading us by, and you can see now we need to find out what is the violation. Let's see 6 and 23 of Romans. Romans 6. Romans 6:23. Listen. Let's see 6 and 20. Listen. 6 and 20. Listen.
For when you were the Abadim of Qatar,
So that's all we look at now. We know the servant, and can we see what a servant is? Because a lot of times, you know what we be thinking about? Somebody who might bring you some tea or go get you something. Let's look at how, and we'll look at it if we could look at it both ways, so we can try to get to the clearest point of how they process. Y'all got it? Do y'all know, how many of y'all don't remember the definition for process? Don't remember. A key ingredient for it, they told you. That's a chemical. That's chemically doing something. So you say, I'm sitting down, I'm trying to process what you told me. What chemicals are you using? I mean, you can use endorphins and different things. People might say in their mind and go for their end. And, you know, they use that as a saying or when they do things. But I want to make sure I really understand how they saw it. Y'all got what I'm saying? That's what people do. If you ever gone and you ever watched National Geographic years ago, they would have the white explorer who sit down with the natives. He would sit down with them to eat, or he would sit down and do things, and he'll turn around, he'd say, well, if they hunting, he'll be right there with them, they'll stew. He said, what they're doing right now. And he's telling it because I'm on the scene and I'm sitting here. So I'm watching the culture. I'm learning. I've been going out with these people. And you'll think when you watching them, he popped up. These people have spent 1 to 3 years with these people. Because you really want to get an ideal of how they do things. When you start to talk about the kids playing, at what age they take, you start watching, at what age do they determine it's time to take you away from playing? Because now, unlike us, we say when a child is 18, 21. Isn't that typical? We say 21. There's no native culture, like what they call native. Nobody let a kid wait till he's 21 before he start getting responsible. They start pulling you away from that early. Because they look at the way we process things, by 19, you need to go with us. You know what I'm saying? You got a bow on your back or a spear. They're like, he's a baby. No, he's not no baby. He's gonna go and start hunting. When she get 5, when she 1 and 2, they can run around naked and mud up. She getting 5 and 6. No. She need to come and start learning how we break up stuff, taking the stone that we busting up, some are breaking up. It's time to start transferring. Shaul said when I was a child, how he thought. That's how he reasoned. That's how he put things when he became a man. So when he became 21. Think about this. Think about it. So what's your age in your mind? He said when he became a man. Tell me the age y'all got. What age in your mind? Anybody? 18. Okay, when he became 18, that process. Now, from the book, he looked at 20 years old. He started counting the man to be responsible from what they put in the book at 20. So you look at how early they started. Like, Mama, they waited till you got 18 before they start getting you responsibility? How old were you start getting responsibility that you can remember? 12 or 13, they start moving. They look at, by that time, it's time for you to stop. You know what I'm saying? You're playing lessons. You got a lesson to plan because we got to get you more toward responsibility. Us, well, let them be a child. When a child get up, we wait too long, and that's why they never mature.
Yeah.
I'm being honest, because this culture makes them late. No other culture does that.
It's true.
No other culture, let a kid around you get 18. Okay, you 18 now. It's time now. So what I've been doing all the way up to now, all of a sudden, I'm finna jump up and now I'm finna have this great responsibility. Right. I got this great maturity. Right. It doesn't happen. That's why we're losing them. Because we wait too long before we start maturing and putting them here, and it takes too long before they get there and say, okay, I need to get myself together. Give them they want to get themselves. We're at a time right now, the average of our guy, 40 years old. 40 years old, they start saying, you know what? Man, it's time for me to get serious. So what you been doing for all the other years? That 40 years old put you in the place and said, man, you know what? Man, I got to stop, man, shoot. Man, nigga ain't gonna be here long. Nigga, you been playing for 40 years. That's bad. We wait too long before we process them with responsibility. Well, you gotta let them grow. Look at where the generation at. They're computer savvy, but they're dumb when it comes down to maturity and for life because we don't want to give them response. Big response, they make up their bed, and they get 10 times to do that. Tell you make up the bed, do it, slap piss at you. Oh, make up the bed. Now I got it. You know what I'm saying? Make it up right. They make it up. One side drip this way, the thing ain't straight going across. It look like a bunch of bullfrogs undercover jumping up all them lumps in there. Cause it's no push to try to okay, your book teaches Talmud complete. They call perfect. Complete, I finished. That's complete. If you did what I told you, they'll say, oh, good job, that's perfect. For them, they look at it was Talmud. That means complete. You did it. You did what I asked. And we don't have a push to make them do that now. We don't give them enough. We set the bar so low for kids now. There's no reason for them to do anything. Because we'll say, you know what, no, I'm not you're too stupid, you can't do it. We gotta start maturing them early. He said, train them up. What was that again? Wow. So that would make sense why they would take him out and start him young as a hunter. So when he grew up as a man, when he get 59, he'll be sitting around saying, you know, man, I'm trying to find my place in life. You 59, you need to go to a Kennedy Memorial Funeral Home, get you a mausoleum, or get you a holding ground. You finna leave him. You don't wait 59 to start trying to find what you want to do in life. Your life is over with, buddy. Y'all hear me? I'm just saying we can't, because this has happened because we have a lack of realizing how important it is to teach them, to really show them, to really impress upon them. Because we lost our coach. Our coach, no, you ain't gonna get to play that long. That time you get serious, you gotta get something. You want something, you better go get you a job. When you say, you can't have something, nigga, you better go get you a job. Like a job? Oh, what I need a job for? I don't need a job. I'm a kid. You want something though? You want grown folks stuff. Get a job. I mean, they tell you, get you a job. When you tell a kid that for, oh, you don't want no job. You get a job, you have working for people. Like, that's what you do. Yeah, you don't want no job. Now we gave the wrong idea. You know what I'm saying? And we can't afford to continue the same way. Now, what we're trying to do is process salvation. But I don't want to process it without understanding first, what's the purpose of it? What state was I in? The reason you said I need it. I walk in, you pretty healthy guy. I'm a doctor, I'm borrowing for a second. Let's sit this. You need a heart transplant. I'm gonna take your heart out. Exactly. He said, good. I don't know. Based off of what? Why would I need my heart to that good, TBO? So now, I mean, that's critical. You talking about cut my check for what? Is it enlarged? Is it inoperable? Is it failing? Is it cancer? Is it a tumor? The doctor just told me, I need to process why. I need to know the need of why. And what I'm going to get, is it going to be better or the same? I was talking to somebody last night, me and Michelle, for a few hours, trying to get in the process stuff. And I tried to get him to understand something. He hired somebody to do something. And they did the same exact job the first person did, and nothing been done. I said, let me ask you a question. I said, you played football. I said, say this. You're on a team in your position. I said, the team never won a game. Never won a game, right? I said, that's what you, in your position, doing what you do. I said, I can do the same exact thing you do. The same exact thing you can do. I said, the team picks me up and lets you go. How many games we win? He said, what? I said, how many games we win? He said, they'll win. I said, no, stop. I said, listen, what you do, listen, they don't process fast, too many hits. I said, what you do, I can do the same exact thing you do, equivalent, okay? They've won no games. They put me on the team. I can do the same thing you can do now. I said, how many games we win? He was still trying to process it. She said, none. He said, hold on. I said, none. That's how I was trying to get understand. I said, you went and hired somebody to do the same exact thing the first person did. They did the same thing, and nothing happened. I said, what are you expecting to happen? They was still stuck on how many games we're going to win, but that's what people at. They got to listen, get all the greed, these folks get the greed, but processing this stuff, the chemicals just not kicking in right. Now, I try to get people to understand there has to be a difference. And the reason why I say that too, we can't afford to come through and do the same exact thing that people came before us that missed. Because nobody want to take time to say, well, let's just stop and scrap this whole thing. Let's look at what's the need. Because I'm being honest with you, it don't make sense to obtain salvation unless you really see it's a need for it. Because like somebody come, I remember years ago in the 70s, people come out and knock on your door. They used to call her, vacuum cleaner salesman. Right. How you doing, ma'am? But can I show you this? I want to show you real quick this herb, this curve. I didn't show it to you. You said, you wasting time, I'm not interested. I already got one. I need it. But it was a good sale because they knew the average person didn't have them. Back people were sweeping carpet. So when the vacuum cleaner came, and it was a need. You know, when last time y'all seen a vacuum cleaner salesman? You ain't gonna believe it. They ain't gonna believe why. They ain't gonna believe it. It's no need. The reason why salvation is still out here and we're knocking at your door, it's a big need for it. As a matter of fact, the need has increased. Because man has increased, which means Kataim has increased. Because man has continued to miss them all. He's continued to fail. And he doesn't know why. He thinks salvation is just a word, but it's something you need to obtain because you understand why. You're missing the mark, son. You're missing the mark every time. Y'all got it? Okay. They'll do it, and life people understand that. Son, you ain't measuring up to the man your granddaddy was. Son, you ain't measuring, or you ain't the woman your mother used to be. But why do I want to look at the mark that he established for man? When he said, Yahushua, you ain't met the mark Yahushua done said. That's right. And these are based upon him accepting ideas. Because I'm not impressing upon you, I'm offering to you. These are suggestions, and if you weigh them and you consider other people that hadn't taken advice, I tell you, listen, walk down that street, when you go down, it's a big hole, you won't fall in it. And everybody going there and falling in that hole, you keep going. At that point, you got to realize how intelligent are you? That you keep walking down the same road, falling in the same hole. And sometimes when you say, you know what, I refuse to keep going out here and I refuse to go and make the same mistake that people made that fall in this hole. This will be our forefathers, our predecessors, the predecessors before us, correct? So now you look at your predecessors, they failed. They missed. Why wouldn't you take the time to make sure you get this right and say, let me consider? That's all. At least, like I said, consider what I say. Let us consider that there is a need, but it's not a need if that's not something that you're really trying to do. Y'all got what I'm saying? It's not a need. Now, they got some tickets to I know it's funny, to a gay festival. There's some people, it's a need for them to go. I ain't interested. I have no need. I have no desire to go. I don't need to, you know what? I'm going to get one just go see who else going. If you there, that's who going. You ain't there trying to see nobody. You're there trying to get somebody. So there's something you look at, I just don't have no desire. There's not a conversation for it. This, we need to talk. There's a conversation. I want to make sure I get this right. But I want to make sure I understand it because I don't want to say I got something or say I'm obtaining something or say I'm in seeking of something and I ain't even in the ballpark for it. Got it? Because I don't really understand it the way that people understood it, who he actually intended it for. Now, he intended first to them, then to their Benin. So what was their understanding that they had to get it? Their kids getting it were going to be based upon what? The parents teaching it to them. The kids weren't going to pop up out of nowhere. They were going to be taught it. So this would continue to be some understood. When they came out of Mizraim, he said, when I make my Barib, I make it with them. What was it again? With them who? That was here, who had seen. It wasn't with everybody with that. It only with people that had gone through the events. So you say, man, that sounds beautiful. I want to get that. Was you there? You ain't got part of a lot in it. That's how it look. It don't make sense because the people I came to get were in a particular situation. That's not your situation. So is this something you still want to hear or get? Or sometimes if you find out, if I can't get it, how interested am I in it other than just to be nosy? But I can't get it because it's not for me. It wasn't pertaining to me. Y'all got what I'm saying? So now they were to teach it to their children because now their children come along and want to see them doing this. They're like, wait, what is this? The herbs, what is this? The drinking, what is this when y'all set? What is this? This is when Yahuwah came and delivered us. Now he was a Yasha. He delivered us. He rescued us. Well, we was in a house of bondage, house of slavery. What happened to slaves? Well, as slaves, you can't do what you want to do. When he came first and approached us on coming out to him, we couldn't come. Why? Because it prevented us. Y'all got it? Having an Adon, a master, prevented us. Well, you said Yahuwah is an Adon. He is a master, and he overrides every other master. He became our Yasha and delivered us. So we recognize him as being the Adon of Adon. He's the Adon of Adons. Y'all got it? Simply because he delivered us from all other ruling powers, okay? Every time we went into captivity, they were different captivity. None of the captivity was exact to Mizraim. How we know that? He told us that in the 28th chapter book of Allah Dabarim, they called Deuteronomy, that we were going to go in ships. Did we go to ships to get to Mizraim? No, we did not go. Yet he told us ships, and he said you were going back to Mizraim, which meant that particular slavery was significant over the others. You did 39 years in one place, 18 years in one place. You did 70 years. You did 400 years, 430 years. So you went through, why weren't all the rest of them like Mizraim? Because that shows you the same way it works when it comes down to committing qatar. No one sin is exact. They all equate to, now every one of the captivity was slavery. Make no mistake, all of them was slavery. Every act of those slaveries were different. If I commit fornication, I tell a lie. They both got the same equivalent, the end result, but they're different. You got it? So we understood no matter what captivity, what sin we were under, he delivers. He rescued. So I think if you say deliver, maybe I might put it with, what else we can put with deliver? Think who? Free? Free. Save. How about pizza? They deliver. No, I'm not being funny. I'm saying, come on, I'm thinking, we're in a modern time now. Who thinking deliver in slavery? Right now? Think trucking? They didn't see? See what I'm saying? So you see why I say you have to kind of understand. You did them all the time now. We can say, well, I think about slavery. You can do that, but that's not as prevalent as it was. So you got to look at what we typically know with deliver. Uber delivers. So what we're going to say, Uber is a yasha? Pizza Hut delivers. They're a yasha? That's the difference. Okay? Because they all deliver. We're looking at rescue. What do we typically look at rescuing? That's an emergency situation. Just like we look at an ambulance. When they cut the light, we look at this is a dire situation. This is an emergency. So now when we process what he did for us, he just delivered. He rescued us. From what? So great a death. What is the ambulance? Listen, they typically set ambulances up, fire department, based off response time. They would never put the Kenya police headquarters down in Augusta. And when people call in Kenya, take off from Augusta to try to get him. What's going to happen? You ain't going to believe what he said. Am I all hang a near or one fall? Because they learn if you're going to be a rescuer, you're going to need to be there. Guess what a mother do with a new baby? She would take the new baby and put it in the basement while she set up on the 3rd level floor. So when something happens, she can get into consciousness and get up and run down 3 flights of steps to get down to that baby. Most of them, some will put the baby in the bed, put the bassinet on the side of the bed, until the baby's able enough to be in another room, and you're going to put the little walkie-talkie in there. And now they got the camera. I don't just want to hear you. I need to see you. Just like Yahuwah looked at, listen, because you are so new to this thing, Chris, I need to keep you right here in my sight. Can y'all understand that? Yes, sir. So you got to understand how they look. Look how he dealt with them. He taught them how kind of like he said, like how a mother, would she forget her suckling child? Who would understand that? A mother knows. She out working feet. If I don't work, that baby keep crying. Stop what I'm doing. That baby got to eat. The baby got to be nursed. This is something I have to do. I put down. So Yahuwah let us know, I was working when I heard y'all crying at Mizraim. But I responded and I let you know it was just like a nursing mother. I heard my baby. My baby was in doubt. You jump up, you come, and you look and the baby choking. You say, oh, look at that baby, just choking. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, you can do it. Put your baby fish in mouth and make it throw up. What you do your baby choking? You snatch that baby up. You start patting that baby. You start trying to get help. You trying to get him. I need to go. I need to get it. That's what he saw. He said, that's how I saw you. I rescued you. You were down. But see, if you don't see it the way he saw it, then what reaction are he going to get from me? I'm Yahuwah, I saved you. Oh, I appreciate it. What's up? That's what's up. Like Josh said, that's what's up. No. What was my condition? What was my situation? Because he's looking for something, the reason he why you keep saying that? Why you keep saying, because I'm expecting something from you. That's why I keep ringing up every time you said, does this man have to say this every time? Till I can get it through your head. Till you understand what condition you were in. Can you understand where you was at? But if you felt like you had some morality and you had some rights and you kind of got off from your rights, then you don't understand what I did. I'm telling you your right was wrong. If you turn right, I say you went wrong. How I went wrong when I turned right? Because I told you to stay straight. See, but the way you process it, if right is right, every time I do this, what I'm doing, where I'm going. See, that's how I process it. All you got to do, turn right. He said, but I told you to keep straight. You ain't going to believe it. If you did that, that's right. But you did this. I'm going with this. This left, I quit wrong. This right, I'm going to quit. He said, go straight. Why? You want me to go right? That's right. But if you process with your morality, man, you're going to keep bumping heads. Y'all all right? Yes, sir. Does it make sense when you sat down and consider why we're not the reactionary people we're supposed to be? Because we're not processing it the way he's looking at it. Do you understand what condition you had? Okay. I'm gonna tell you who you get tired of. Them cancer survivors. All that pink. I'm about tired of it. Football player can't pink on the shoe. But let me tell you what, you know why when you think about it got the attention and why I be sick of it? I'm not a cancer survivor. So I don't get it. Talk with somebody who went through it, who was diagnosed to an critical end that you might not make it. You ain't gonna make it. And you made it out. And if they're saying pink is what we wear to represent the survival of it, every time they send me in pink, you said, you gotta wear pink every time. It's because of where I was. I want to acknowledge it. Okay, this is the group. This is what we're talking about. Do you understand what condition you is? He said, well, red. Well, wear it on your heart. Wear it on your heart. I ain't talking about the color red. Wear it on your heart. That crimson, he came and he put down to cover our heart. He used red to come and cleanse. You know, it does not make sense. And I remember in elementary, they had paint colors. We had, now the paint we had, y'all young folks. This paint we had in here, this stuff stunk. And it was in a plastic thing, and you had a brush, and that brush was sticky. This paint was hard. You could build a house with this paint. Okay. If people still living right now in houses, they're painted with this stuff and it's holding up. This stuff was thicker than plastic. You put it in, you turn it, and they would teach you how to mix colors. When they had black, this was blacker than black. This was really bad. And you put it on the paper smelled. You couldn't do paper, you did this. Because I'm telling you now, this paint was thick, and that's what they held on to. But they would teach you how, I remember you ran out of a color, they would come and teach you how to take colors to make it. You said, I'm out of it, and they'll take colors and show you, you can mix these two, and you can get this color. Now, I ain't paying no attention because I can't get elementary. The paint stank, I don't know if I was high. So I'm really not paying no attention, but if that's what you say, okay, I ain't gonna be no paint mixer. But at the same time, he looked at how he could take red and he could make white. And he mixed it with katayin, which is black. Now you can't take red and black and make white. He said, I can. Because I associated your katayin with something like darkness. Not that darkness was wrong, but in the darkness, you ain't gonna believe what happened. You limit on what you can do. Hello? You are. Sometimes the later stay dark, the less you do, after a while, you out. What? When dark, that's when most of us sleep. Yeah, that's what happened. So the longer you stay in the obscurity, guess what happened? The more easier or more susceptible you are to what? To falling asleep. So the longer you stay in your katayin, the longer you are susceptible to wind up dying in it. If I kept you in darkness long enough, eventually your eyesight will compel to it and give into it to where the straining of it will push you to a point of just, there's no need of fighting it. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and guess what happened? This happens with katayin. The longer you stay in missing, think about it. If I keep shooting, keep missing. Justin, Leon, y'all point guard. Whoever was a point guard. Hold on, stop. Hold on, stop. I don't even want to look at everybody. This is tight. Let me see all the people. I'm gonna close my eyes. I don't want because I want all the people who are point guard, good point guard, raise your hand. I'm finna give it a say. I'm scared. Who are the other one? Okay, I'm scared. I seen you. I can see something. Oh yeah, I seen. I ain't say who's to point at the guard. But hey guard, get in here over this cell, not them. Okay, we know that ain't true. That ain't true. No. You was in Greece, you probably was. Y'all cut the heat down. I know it getting hot out there. See, when them folks get to tell them live, boy, that thing heat up out there. Now. You was a point guard. That's right, because your daddy was a detention officer. You said, hey, daddy. Hey, that's my daddy. Dwayne was a point guard. I forgot about that. Yeah, he pointed at his dad. I forgot about that. So Dwayne was a true point guard. Because you'll have a true point guard too, will you not? He was a true point guard. So if you keep missing, what happens with this? You get better, worse, the same. So it gets discouraging. It can get discouraged to make you want to stop. Because you sometimes make you don't want to shoot. You know, sometimes why? Because you look at it don't make sense if I keep missing. I'm not getting better at missing. I need to just stop it. Just stop what I'm doing. Nothing drives us to a point to come back and sometimes you'll go back and say, let me work on that. Work on what I did. Some people can't adjust. Some people, they stay off. It gets in their mind. They can't readjust. Sometimes it can be a readjustment. And what happens with us sometimes just to stop is to readjust and consider. The missing sometimes, if you hear you're like, man, like everything I'm putting up, I'm on fire, I'm going, and you take for granted till you start missing, you realize I need to consider, I need to readjust. That's what happens with us. It makes you to, nothing now sparks us to make us consider. We just buy into it and we just succumb to it. He wants us to consider, readjust. See, all the things we'll do in life, we'll readjust and do and try to correct. When it comes down there, if I miss it, I mean, I guess I won't be saved. That's it. Y'all got it. Just like to do the goal move for you to get better, you got to make the move. You got to make the move. If I'm dropping, if I'm here, I'm short, I need to get in closer, or I need to put more on it. It's only two things I can do. Am I correct? If it's falling short, what I do? Stay at the same measure. I need to come up. What y'all suggest? Come up. What you say? Just come up. Stay back. Stay. If I'm missing, if it's short, if I'm shooting past it, I got to do something. Take something off of it. It's all the thing you reconsider do. Why we don't do that when it comes down to our salvation? Yeah, sure. Why we don't look at these things? But a lot of things in life, we'll make adjustment, we make changes for to try to correct, to do better. But when it comes down to our salvation, man don't really sit down and put a whole lot into it other than I ain't right, then he don't want me to be right. Versus, if I want you to be right, I want you to knowledge to know you're wrong. How you know you're wrong? I know, because I don't want you to be saved. Well, I mean, it looks like everything I do wrong, he don't want me to be saved. How you know everything you do wrong? Because there's people out here doing what they're doing, and you think they know they're wrong? It's to an end where they say, you know what? Everybody wrong. Keep partying. Why he didn't let you get that mind? Because that's how we rationalize stuff, because you look at other people. You don't want to just base what you do off of other people. Other people can be more dampering than helping. Sometimes you use them for your measuring when it comes to your salvation, you're sure. Again, considering you missed. But now all we're doing now, like I said, we come back to reconsider so we can make the adjustment. Because the goal is to get on target. Y'all got it? So that's what we're trying to do. Understand what we're doing. A servant. Let's see. Ooh, appreciate it. A servant. It's tight. What's this? A person who performs duties for others, especially a person employed in a house or domestic duties, or as a personal attendant. Okay. What does it say? What is a bod? That's interesting, though. We can use that. A bod. That's how they'll pronounce it. A bod. Or bad is how they look at it. It means to work in any sense. To serve, till, to enslave. So they look at to enslave. They talk about a person just working into a house. So they look at an bod. So one of them, number 3, would be to be enslaved. Enslaved would make sense for us on the end when it comes down to us committing kata. According to Yahushua in the 8th chapter of the book of Yuchanan, I'm not doing a lot of writing with y'all to focus, I get what I'm saying. In the 8th chapter of the book of Yuchanan, he talked about, they called John 8 and about 34, 30, he talked about whosoever commit kata'im, okay, whoever missed the mark, he said, you're an abad. Right. And he said, an abad don't abide in the beth, not alone. Not for a long time. Let's look at how they look. Because give me the number on forever. You said forever. Give me the number on forever. Yeah, they looked at a long time. So you look at time, how long, look how a lot of times look at time. You look at summer, when what we call the summer when it comes, you look at how the day stretch. You say, whoo, boy, it's taking a long time for it to get dark. When you look at when it comes, even you look how they measure things. He said, behold, I come quickly. So you look at when the winter time comes, people are like, man, the sun sure fall, it went down fast. He says, how coming quickly. Y'all got it? So people, I mean, you can measure time, because look at these arts you use. These people are saying here, man, they're going to be forever and ever. Nobody knows what you're talking. They just know it's a long time. Because they're processing things, how long things continue, how things go. So people process them based off how they look at how things work. How long you wait for things. Y'all got, he talked about how the husbandman, which is the farm, he waited. What was he waiting on? He waiting on the precious fruits. He was waiting on, he knew it, the way he knew when he put it in the ground. So now he said, wait on me. Based off of what? Based off how the husband do when he plants. When he plants, he eats then. See, now they got this seed, you throw it down, everything come up fast. Guess what a lot of this is done too at the same time? It more or less dampers your desire to wait. Microwaves. Man, I remember listen, Listen, you were gonna eat all them pots coming out the refrigerator. That jelly stuff gonna have to break. And y'all remember them pot, that jelly, look like, I said, you could pick something out of all that jelly like around that thing. You said, I want this jelly. Yeah, go ahead and eat it, you'll find what it is. Put that thing back down there and heat that stove with that thing, melt down, start going like it never existed. You learn how to wait on things. You said, I want some cornbread. You wouldn't take about 2. You didn't realize how it really, when these microwave came, Jiffy Lube came, and I just Jiffy cornbread, that messed you couldn't get no cornbread like that. You couldn't cook no cornbread in no 5 minutes. You weren't making no rice in no 3 minutes. You weren't make no rice. You had to take that rice, cook that rice, got to set it cook. You want some rice, your behind finna wait. Throw that bun, you finna wait, that rice got to cook. Now you ain't got a bag, throw that thing, success. Throw that junk in there 3 minutes. And it's in cold water for 2 minutes. Water heat up 1 minute on that rice. We never, but see, think about what we didn't consider. How does this work with your temperament when it comes down to you waiting? I grew up, we didn't have no microwave. It was all stove. It's all you had to put on, and you couldn't put it on high. Get what? You had to put it on. You cut on high, you gonna burn it. You had to let it go. It got to work itself. That jelly, like that jelly stuff. But you already knew you had to wait. That jelly got to melt. That stuff got to simmer and cook. And look, when it get, you like, man, that thing be ready. But you had to wait. So now when Yahuwah told us to wait on it, you look at for us, we like everything quick. You still gotta hit them 2 numbers, pow, that's it. 1 minute, 30 seconds, you done. So when he said wait on him, you're like, seriously? I got a microwave, I got 3-minute rice. I got all this stuff right I can do. Are you serious? Don't you think this plays a part in how I process waiting on him? Everything's instant. Listen, you can get along today, go online. You can pull up your phone. Man, you just had a set appointment. Go to the bank. You got to go sign up people and fill out paperwork. You can do all this all the phone. Listen, I'll send you a link right now. Yeah. Just say, check your email. You got it. You like going out. You start filling in, study, process it. We can do this now. What y'all think all this about? So when this man talking, it's hard to take what he's saying. Because everything there is quick. You can get an answer in 24 hours. See, everything is quick. You can run through a car wash 2 minutes, 3-minute car wash. Man, you had to get out there, you had to get a bucket, or you gonna go and pay the other one, and you gotta put that soap, and you gonna get that dish detergent, you're gonna eat the clear off your car, put that water in that bucket, you got that old style, you gotta wash it, you gotta dry it, then that thing, when it wash it, dry it off, and put the All on there. Isn't that right? So I ain't gonna back, ain't nobody gonna ride it here anyway. Isn't that right? Keep moving. But I'm just saying, everything moves so fast, and we don't realize a lot of time why, because it really dampers or changes the way you process waiting on him. Because everything is so instant. Everything can be done so easy at fingertips. It's like, why am I going to wait on somebody to come back here some hundreds of thousands of years or whatever years is going to be back when all this stuff you can do yourself. You don't have to wait anymore. It does play a part with how you look at salvation. And you have to look at, is there really a need? Because if you don't see yourself in a situation where you've never been on target, so how did you ever process, or how you process obtaining something if you don't realize you've been off the whole time? And then see the need of why you need to get on target. Y'all got it? So you can stop missing, whether deliberately or intentionally or unintentionally. It still comes up to failure. Okay? So you can't say, oh, well, if I don't know I'm off, then no, it don't make a deal. You're still off. If it's not your intent. I honestly didn't mean to do it. You're still off. So we got to start looking at trying to lessen, as they say, the margin of error by taking certain things out from conversation to association to other things we do to make sure we actually get down to the real legitimacy of understanding the need of being delivered. Y'all got it? Or rescued. Okay? Or being rescued. So we looked at enslaved. So let's go back to this 6 and 23. 6 and 20, where we left off at, Romans. I'm trying to get ready to let y'all go. Get ready to take up the money. Get them in. What a friend we. Look like black folk give better than hear that name. All our sins. 6 and 20 of Romans. Listen. For when your mic is on. Come on up, little puncher train.
For when you were Abadim of Qatar.
So when he talked about, now from the English, it told us about being servant. It talked about being in a house, being under leadership. So now you look at when you were Aberdeen, because now this refers to a person being in a position of, mainly when they looked at it for Yasharal always looked at them not at them just working at, they worked at them actually being enslaved. That was part of their punishment, which was equivalent to their behavior. You know, sometimes people say you gonna act like a dog, or how you doing? I'm gonna do something to you because you act like a dog. They would give you certain things or treat you some way because this is how you act. So he looked at, because you commit sin will put you in a violation, which means that you became the servant of. So since you became the servant of and you the one serving him, then I put you under what you were serving. You did wrong, I put you, and you look like, you know what, man? Man, the way you treat me is wrong. You ain't gonna believe why. Because you did wrong. How was you gonna process it? See, if you looked at how bad your captivity was and how strenuous your punishment was, then you'll process some things too on, wow, how bad was I? You know what I'm saying? How damaging was this situation? How damaging was, you know what I'm saying? It really wasn't that bad. But when you have to process what you've done and look at where you at and how long you had to do it, then you have to really say, wow, this is really bad, huh? Hello? Like you might have stole something one time, now every time you look around, people treat you like a thief. You said, wow, I stole one little time, everybody got a thief. They're looking at you, yeah, you're a thief as far as I'm concerned. You're like, so is it that bad I'll never be forgiven, I'll always be looked at as? See that? Not until you can be redeemed. That was the purpose of what he did. We always looked in the state of, you're Aberdeen. He even asked one time, was Yasharal a homeborn slave? Mm-hmm. He said, you're a homeborn, because you constantly keep going in this, you constantly keep putting you back into bondage. And you wonder why you keep getting put here. It's because your acts are acts of bondage. This is what your acts get you. And we'll set around, the average of us, sit down, and we try to consider why things happen to us or why things happen. You don't know why. You have no idea. You do know why. You'd be a fool to say you don't know why. Why wouldn't you know? Because of the actions that you keep portraying. He said, these are the consequences of the actions. This is the only way I can get you to consider your latter end. Although we might say, you know, I just feel like in fact, as other people don't suffer like I suffer. You don't know why? They're gonna pay for it later. They're gonna pay for it. Listen, you got two choices. You could pay now, pay later. Y'all done seen that before. You done went to stores. Buy now, pay later. So that means you don't have to pay? There's some people come to the rate, you know, they say, oh, I can't believe this stuff this high. And they going to pay for it now. You say, I get the 90 days same account or 2 years or 1 year entry free and I pay it then. And you ain't gonna believe what happened in 1 year, 2 years. You ain't gonna believe it. You ain't got it. Mm-hmm. Some stuff happened. I sure thought I was gonna have it. Like these people out in the street, they think they're gonna be ready when they move and they go to judgment. I mean, when it comes, you know, I'm gonna be straight. He said, you know what? That's why I ain't gonna give it to you now. Mm-hmm. I'm waiting you real crooked and bent up and crippled. And I'm saying, time for my part. Hold on for a minute. I ain't know I was gonna be like, you should have paid at the register. Mm-hmm. I don't know why you picked to pay later. Cause now I'm here to collect. Y'all got it? People don't realize when I come on here. This is an attempt
Collect the debt.
to collect the debt. That's why I'm here. It's an attempt to collect the debt. Huh? Don't y'all know these messages are always being recorded for quality assurance? To make sure no side deal get covered nobody. But everybody got to come in, Brother Red.
By the door.
Straight, narrow path. That's why we're here. Ain't no deal getting cut for me, ain't no deal getting cut for you. Everybody got to just look. We got to cut this mess out and get it right.
That's right.
We procrastinated, hesitated entirely too long. You can't keep, at some point, when do you change from being the person that you are? Okay. You think about this. If he came to save us from our kata, missing the mark, missing, what state were we in? Hello? I was in Georgia. What state were we in? We was in a bad state. We was in a bad situation. You need to know that. That's why you see other people die without, and he let you come into the knowledge. These people died. These people without it. These people can't get it. There's no rescuing these people when you get to this point. But I rescued you. I gave you favor. Abraham did nothing. There's nothing. Abraham would say, ever since I was a little boy, I used to practice. I did. I felt like in my heart one day he coming and he gonna come and get somebody at the house. Had no idea. He told you he did absolutely nothing. I chose you and I brought you out. He chose. You know how you consider you mean everybody in my family gonna die? Everybody. Everybody that don't come out by your hand, by your way, they gonna die. I know my family. That's not them. They're not gonna do it. Then they gonna die in their kataim. And in fact, I give you the nod and I brought you out and I chose you and I set you forth for this to make you humble to consider. Could have did this for somebody else. Now you can complain about not having a car, not owning a home, not being married, not having kids, not being rich, successful. But it's plenty of people got that. He's not gonna yash them though. He's not gonna rescue them. So you have to do your math. What good is all that? Say he give you all that, then he kill everything he gave you and let you keep living without it. This the because you know how we process? I'll be honest, to have a family and be able to have money, have someone go, that's beautiful, I have that. But then he let you get it, and then he wind up taking the money, he take the family he gave you and let them out and let you keep living and realize, now what was the profit in what you had? Now you right better, and now you still got to meet me in my spot. It's just too many ways he can come in and get, because you ain't getting them for a loan. How long can you get them for a loan and a loan? It's temporary. You and them, y'all gonna move. So you look at what are you trading out? You willing to trade out your nefesh, your soul, that you can have 30, 20, 40, and you living long enough, that time will come. How many of y'all 40 in here now? How many of y'all remember when y'all was like 2 and 3, maybe 4? How many of y'all, how far 40 look? How long, even though it took you, it took you 37 years to get it, that was a long 37 years to get there? See, that seemed like you blinked one day and you was 37 years later you at 40. So how long could your pleasure last? How long can your enjoyment last? How long can you laugh? You can cry longer than you can laugh. So when you start to consider life, Kai, and how it works and exists and all the things you get and everything that's entangled with it, you really got to consider this thing and look at, we really need to process what this man has given us. What kind of state were we in that you look at, you'll put people away and they'll never live again and they'll suffer. How bad is, think of the fact that you will burn for, what is it, 20 minutes, what, probably an hour? Forever and ever without end. How bad does he see this stuff that we call immoral acts of right and wrong? How serious is that? Immoral, how bad that sound? You committed an immoral act of right and wrong of human character. That sound like burning, that conversation sound like burning without end. Even with missing, it don't sound as tragic, but when you associate it with, that's it. You done. You can't ever come back, that's it. That made me consider, I don't want to miss again. I don't want to miss. I don't want to miss. If it's going to be associated with, I'm going to burn, it's going to be without remedy. You know, we don't have a remedy for something. There's no cure. And that's what they looked at. There's no cure for it. When you move and you're in this condition, it's like an illness that there's no remedy for it. You can try to lay on your side, that hurt. Have you been so sick, you lay down, you feel bad. You stand up, you feel nauseous, you need to lay down, and then you lay on your back, that ain't working. In fact, you'll choke, you lay on your stomach and like, this ain't comfortable. It's like, it's not a remedy. He said, that's how it's gonna be when I come back and I execute mashpat. There's no remedy if you ain't got this thing right. You ain't gonna be able to stand up and get out of it. You ain't gonna be able to lay down and get out of it. You ain't gonna be able to lay on your back, and you ain't gonna be able to lay on your stomach or your side. Nothing's gonna be a cure for you. And they understood that. He explained that to them. He said, I wanted you with the wound. How would an enemy wound you? Kind of way, I don't want to really hurt you. Somebody hates you, how would they wound you? He said, that's how I do. He said, and when I chastise you, You know, because he made sure you understood the difference. Because he said no chastisement is good for the moment, but he talked about the Abba chastising you. He wanted to make sure there's a difference. He said, now I chastise you as a cruel one. I don't want you to convince, I want you to consider when I'm beating you to that point that this is the same chastisement of a father. As an Abba, this is the chastisement of a cruel one. Like when you was in Mizraim. Because you know, they beat you like you were their child, didn't they? Or you heard people say that, I'm gonna beat you like you stole something. That's a difference. He said, that's how I did it. I beat you like you stole something without remedy. And I'm saying all this for all of us because we have got to make changes and realign, reassess what we're doing to make sure we Sadiq, make sure we're righteous to the point of no failure. And the point of no failure is to just make sure we understand it, make sure we got it, and then make sure we maintain. Y'all get it? When we get it, we want to halak according to, okay? But I want us to really, I guess he wanted, not me. I'm sorry if I said me. But I have the same intent. I just want to make sure we get this thing Sadiq. I want to make sure it's right. I want to make sure we line and measure this thing up that at the end of the day, when moot comes, it ain't fall. It ain't fall. And don't have yourself so wrapped into people and things at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, you got to save yourself. A person fall away, a person don't get it. I can't feel sorry for you. I'll be honest with you. You have the same opportunity all of us have to make that decision. You don't have to have a degree, a diploma. You don't have to have an elementary diploma. You just got to have a mind to sit down, and everybody can sit down and explain to them enough to where these are decisions you make. If your decision is quit, stop, don't, that's your decision. I'll be the last person to feel sorry for you because this is something you want to do. For me, I'm making a decision, this is what I want to do. I want to make sure I got it right. And that's more important to me than any other thing. Yes, you will struggle with natural things and things you'll want, you desire, because your flesh. Your flesh don't just die and give up for what it wants, whether it's sex or whatever it might be, or drinking, or it don't give up for that. But you still have to constrain it. This is part of you breaking yourself away from something that wants to contain you and make you a servant again, an abad. Y'all got it? But as free people, we got to do just like Shimshon. Who untied Shimshon? That's right. Because part of that was him being captured, him being taken. That was him and his Sadiq. Now, he was going to have, why was Elohim going to come and break him loose? Elohim did it? Elohim made him go and do it? No, you make choices. You make choices based on what you like. And you put your trust and your confidence in things and people. At the end of the day, our confidence got to be in Elohim. And although his Lord went after something, and his Lord desired something, practicality is, this is what he gave me. So when you don't fit inside that, and no matter how good you look or how tempted it is or how ravishing or how wanting I am of it, I got to look at, I'm going to miss the mark. I'm going to miss the mark. And I can't afford to miss the mark fooling with you. That's when anybody, it can be your mama, your dad, your sister, your husband, your wife, your kid. At the end of the day, my wife, listen, I ain't missing no mark for nobody. Everybody make their own choice. I ain't trying to feel sorry for nobody you fought. That's just, let me tell you something. Everybody here got the same information. How you want to take it and you want to use it, that is clearly up to you. The information don't make me want to go out here and say, you know what, man, I can live how I want to live. It don't matter. That's just dumb. But when you allow yourself to be open to and you will accept in and everything, and that's where you're at, then that's where you want to be. Because at the end of the day, you ain't got to be where you're at. Everybody had to take correction. Everybody got to make adjustments. At the end of the day, it's your nefesh. It keeps us on a humble state. When you realize I can make a mistake, I can miss, then it makes me to be more cautious. You got a night you run down here and they count and you missing. You ready to just jack that thing up as soon as they touch your hand? You ready to shoot it? Or you want to think about it? I can wind up. You remember that football player for what missed all them field goals? How you think he started filling out the number 2? I really don't want to do this. I miss, and everybody looking. This is in front of everybody. You missed 3 straight. You thinking, And you know how he had to feel? He understand what Qatar is missing. You know how bad he had to feel? It don't matter if folks come up petting him saying, well, how that changed what he did? What about the fact they won? That changed it. They looking at me, you missed. It's going to be hard to count on you. I can't count on you. Now you put yourself in a state where, I'll be honest with you, I can't count on you. I don't want Mr. Hood to look at me and say, you know what, I'll be honest with you, I can't count on you. That'll kill me, literally and figuratively. These are the things we need to consider. Can the man count on us? And a lot of it had been because we've never really sat and looked at this to this magnitude. How does he really view this? Well, I know I done bored y'all, and that's up to y'all, but what's meant and where it was supposed to go went. Made no mistake. What's meant went exactly where it's supposed to go. What then went where it was supposed to go, because at the end of the day, he's going to be the final judge of everything. It's for everyone to consider, it's for everybody to do, it's for everybody to look at getting this thing right. And we got to look at how things come into play. We got to look at relationship. We got to look on historically how he's done things. That's the pattern I look for to see, does this look like it fits a certain behavior? That's it. That's what they look at. That's just like, all right, Amy Smith, she killed somebody breaking her house. I got a title for her, serial killer. No, because that's the second time somebody broke her house, she shot him. Serial killer. Why not? She's done it more than one time. So you can put the wrong title on the wrong situation. So like you thinking you right. That's what I don't want to do. He said there's a way that seems right. There's a derop that'll seem right. So how could it seem right unless it like kind of, you know what I'm saying? It bears some. It shows some resemblance. Come on. Some people got law going, look like I've been, because it looked like, but it's not. You say it's not. I show because I seen some familiar looking things. Some people got lost from that. Because they're like, hold on, I'm thinking, did I? So it's some thing, and you'll keep going, and the further you go, you get more and more, I don't want to do that, and I don't want us there. Y'all understand that? I don't want you there. I don't want to be there. So we really have to sit back and look at, we really want to be honest. When we let down, when we pull out, when we get up, we want to be honest. I said, I had the same pull out. That's really what I want. I'll be honest. I don't want him to, he don't have to give me no another car or none of that. That ain't what I want. That's something I do. I don't ask somebody no stuff. I don't ask somebody, give me a business. I won't get it. I don't. I'm really not. I'm tired of that. I want to, this is what I'm concerned about. Us being what we need to be, us being genuine, us being honest, and us being realistic about this the plan. We just got to go through it and look at it and make sure we get it right. Make sure we honest with us, make sure we're looking at this. What's the real need of this? Because when you going in life, it's like, come on, everybody doing something. The world just where it is. If people good, they don't care, they keep going. But for some of us, it's an alarm to say, you know, how long? When will you ever remember California getting flooded? How many of y'all when y'all ever remember California being total water? California had earthquakes. They used to sing a song, I wish they all could be. So what you think people looking for? A California girl. California made blondes. When you went, if you was a white woman, you went to California, you dyed your hair blonde. It's a known fact, blondes have more fun. So what a woman gonna do? She gonna show brunette. Then they start looking at a redhead would be an outstep. If you was a pretty redhead, they said because it's different. But I'm gonna be honest, you'll never get the highlights a blonde to get. Charlie Angels had 2 brunettes. Who was the most famous one on them? The blonde. Farrah Fawcett, the blonde. Because blonde stood out. When you did show, blonde stood out. So they put that imagery out there. And now, California, they put the sex look out there. It's the bikinis, it's the small bodies, it's the whole works of. Now he look like he's taking everything down. Everything, New York put fashion. A lot of these people put stuff, he's tearing these places apart. Because they're looking at, these are the people that set your standards. And now look at you. Homosexuality, everybody knew San Francisco was the home state for homosexuals. They start growing sissy, put them in the mail. People getting mail laying it down instead of opening it up. Sisters just getting fatter and fatter in the envelope. They come out, they want to know the mail busted out. They're like, man, someone owe my mail. Sister busted out. You get mail from California, put it back in the box, like Fred saying. Lamont brought them bills in there. He said, put them back in the box. He said, ain't got no money. Put it back in the box. He said, don't make, what I'm gonna take some bills, I ain't got no money. Y'all get a letter, it say California. Put it back in the box. That's another one, there now. Open it, before you open it, put it on the ground, stomp it. You hear that, ah! No. When you hear that, you know what happened. Got it. Put your man just put on, ah! Got it. Now you thinking you'd have waited. All right? That's two. Put this on. Oh, God, try to get y'all. That's on stage. Oh, you gonna put it up on me, man. Don't forget to stomp your mail when you get home. Which mail you supposed to stomp? California. If you take your foot in the front and you mad down, you hear say, you tickle that system. Don't tickle it. Yeah. Ah! All right, got it. You ready? Come on. All right. We got our announcery. One for Shaquille! One for Shaquille! Woo! Woo! One for! There she go. All right, that's what I'm saying. She got one for Shaquille? Look at that. Man, that thing's so professional. If your mom was back here from Bug Tussle tonight, she'd been so happy. Her and Will had to go to Bug Tussle. Huh? Come on here. Yeah. All right, everybody all right? Let's get ready to stand. Give Mr. Yahuwah another hand clap. Why? Because he's worthy. Through Yahushua HaMashiach. Those that couldn't be here, know we miss y'all. I hope y'all get better. Confederate State 48 still plowing for you. Catrice and them in Mississippi, everywhere. Ghana, England, everywhere. Everywhere people displayed out there. Kentucky and Texas. Got nephew, he Will and the girls up there. We appreciate my heart them. Okay, let me get that. You drunk. Let me get it. You drunk. Let me get it. Yeah, you been drinking again. They put, got here come trouble. Here trouble. Here's trouble.
Monday was Adam's birthday.
Oh, big fat Adam. Where Adam at? Joker. Knock you out, Joker.
And tomorrow is Ray's birthday.
All right, Ray. All right. Ray, happy birthday, Ray. Happy birthday. How old are you now, Adam? 19. Who? 10. You wasn't just 10 4 years ago. I'm gonna be watching you. We're good. God, they getting old. 10? God. Time rolling past. It happened. The kids are growing. Anything, another announcement? Everybody all right? Everybody out there, we appreciate all y'all again. I hope y'all. Are you ready? Hands up! Most High, Kadash Shabbat, separated Father. I do for allowing us to be here, which is thanks for this opportunity to be able to yak upon your shem, call upon your name. Be a baraka to us, which bestow a gift or a benefit upon it, to be our healer, to be our restorer through the zabak, the sacrifice, the kum, the resurrection, the dam, the blood that covered all of us for our kataim, our sins, where we missed. Truly we missed, unintentionally and intentionally. I do thanks and all the $2 thanksgiving, that kabod, glory, kabod honor, be unto your Shem, your name, Yahuwah Elohim, who is our Shaddai, who is a beer, which is powerful, for all you rendered. And let the Tahalim be under Yahushua, which is your salvation, the Mashiach, the anointed one. Baraka your Shalakim, your Ra'ah, your Mal'aki, which are your sent ones, your shepherds and your messengers. Mashiach the Pa, which is anoint the mouth, that we might speak only the things that will be eloquent and easy to be heard and understood to the lobs, which is to the heart, that we might be converted. Grant us the Ruach HaKadosh, which is the spirit of separation. Limit us that we might know you according to your Sefer, which are your scrolls or your books. Baraka the Berith, that you shop it, which is the covenant you vowed to Abraham, Yitzchak, Jacob, the Yahudim, and to Yasharal, and their Tuledah, which are the generations, even to us and our Tuledah, which are our generation, and the Tuledah to come until your appearance. Barak us, which bestow a gift of benefit upon us, and let your pioneer your face. Let it o'er upon us and be our encampment, our protection. Let it be a fence all around us. Barak us that we kata not, which is sin not. Blot out all of our kataim, our mahal, which are sins and our transgression, as far as the kadim is from the yam, which is the east is from the west, that they'll never come back into contact again with Sadiq. Make us Sadak, Talmim, which is complete. Make us join heirs with the Mashiach. Make us of the Kodashim, the separated ones. Be a baraka to those in leadership and authority to execute your will. Those that we commit to you, that ask us to plow for them, and with them that seek you, your Dabarim, be their healer, be their rescuer, as we all seek you to be a Yasha. Be a baraka to those that are married, single, separated, sick, afflicted, gone astray and taken from us, recover our individual mishvakal, our young people as well, now y'all, is keep them that they'll consider their latter end. The out-of-towners, be their Nakum, which is their consolation. Behind prison walls, bereaved, war-stricken countries, those who are going through the effects and the torments of nature, as you allowed to be inflicted upon us, just to turn us, to make us consider. We're sorry that we stayed in ourselves, that we justified ourselves, that we sought our own Sadiq, our own rights, as did Yasharal. We'll know better. And we come confessing that without you, we're nothing. If it had not been for all you rendered, surely we had been as Sodom, and we had burned as Gomorrah. But being the Elohim that you are, the mighty ones, you came and you yashed us in due time, rescued us. When we yakred to Yeshim, called upon your name, you deliver as none other. And we say, Hadu, be a baraka to those that could not be here, still in transition and healing. Recover them as well. If there's anything we said, anything we've done, if there's any ill will, we allow that you not hold it against us in the human mashpat, but let us be able to be received into your long habitation. Be a healer to it, and be the recoverer, and be the strength of Britt, as well as so many others that seek you. And when we've done all we can do, we seek your pani, to dwell in your malkuth, to see your pani, and tahalim your shem better. In the shem of Yahushua, HaMashiach we palau. Let us all say, Amen. Come home! Come home! A hobby. Where y'all at? Only the best.
Alex is not here.
Good, Alex not here. So we should have a good singer.
Alex is here.
Come on here. Well, we don't hear him.
Alex here. But we don't see him.
We don't see him. We got to go. Who? I don't know what you saying. There be no interpreter. I'm keeping it silent.
He said he be eating apples.
Oh, you been eating apples? All right. So what we gonna do?
Oh, Alex is here.
He is here. No. Oh, good. Here comes trouble. Oh, I know it. Goodness.
I know it. He was here. I know.
Here come trouble, y'all. Y'all know what we gotta do.
Beat him up. Beat him up.
Yeah, we
Beat
definitely.
him up. Beat him up.
Come on, Joker. Much as you know we don't like you. Come on, Joker. Come on, bring him on here, Hadassah, so we can let him in. I don't hit him. That's it. Hold on. Not so rough. Easy. All right. Y'all ready? All right, y'all ready? All right, y'all ready? 1, 2, 3, hit it. Ra-ah-ah, the little children. Oh, All the children of the congregation. Ooh, red and yellow, black and white, they are precious in His sight. Rah, the little children of the congregation. Woo! Come home, come home. I hug you, I hug you. Alex, come and apologize.